You guys give me if I kill that bird?
Barbara, that's a bald eagle.
Get away, Baldy! Yeah!
Well, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is the Wort with Mike Pete and Steve, GubsRadio.com, live here at Dubco in Bayshore. We're here with Chris, but before we get to what we're going to be doing today, we have a few things we need to do. I want to thank everybody. For the last 5 years, this show has been doing a fantastic job because of my co-partners, Mr. Peter and Mr. Steven. So, Steve, thank you very much.
Where's Pete again today?
He's dedicating a new library.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
In
Spokane, right? Spokane.
It was definitely out of state.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's Spokane.
He has a number of things he has to do. I heard bottle of champagne on the railing. I heard a number of things that he was in charge of. He seemed stressed. I told him, take the day. It's all right. Yeah. We'll be hanging out here and drinking. Yeah. And when you get back, he'll be joining us back in studio a couple times in the next few weeks, few months. So good to see Pete back in action, a little more regular, moving forward.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So we're going to do something a little different here in 2023. We're going to start off by doing a live show, which we have not done for a kickoff to season 6. Season 6, Steve.
Let's go.
6 years.
6 years of Antique Roadshow.
Antique Roadshow.
Wait, this is the wrong
Steve
show?
and Antique Roadshow.
We're going to bring out this nice vase.
We have this vintage brewer
created around the same
time. A little old
as,
and crusty, but...
Well, if we had Charlie here, it would truly be...
that's the original. Well, that'd be, that's you're going way back. That's more than vintage.
Civil War Roadshow.
That's like, exactly. You need anthropology for that. Like, he's so old.
Right.
Check his bones. There's
brittle and frail?
Brittle and old.
Oh, my goodness.
Holy
smokes. All right, so let's get into our sponsorship lineup this year. There's a lot going on, and we want to thank everybody over the last 5 years for being sponsors. But before we get to that, I want to thank and start out by talking about Beer Maker. Beer Maker is your at-home brewing kit made with all natural ingredients. You get the grains. You decide on even some of the ingredients and the recipe. Sure. It's a countertop, all automated brewing system, all kind of monitored by your phone through the app. Mm-hmm. And they offer
one gallon at a time.
1 gallon at a time. They offer a lot of different varieties. And the process is great for those of you who want to just try out more of the what amounts to a better indication of what craft brewing actually is, as opposed to your old, Mr. Beery kits and stuff like that.
Man, they're making it easy today.
Oh my God! But this is all automated, Chris. Right on your phone, you get to add your hops, your any
all green brewing.
Yeah, it's
wild. That's wild.
A lot of cryo hops lately. They've been pushing out there, so something, and they're keeping up with the industry too, trying to get the ingredients that people are using in real brews. So
that's important.
Yeah. Go to beermaker, BERMKR.com, or visit our Instagram page, and in the bio there's a link tree right to the site. And if you're going to purchase your Beer Maker kit, type in the Wort in the promo code, receive 10% off your order. They have some great kits and stuff. Also, all the stuff that we want, like drops for balancing out pH and a number of different tools of the trade that real brewers use, you can use with your Beer Maker. So go to beermaker, BERMKR.com. Today, though, we were also sponsored by one of our favorite sponsors, Rosie's Draft Solutions.
Rosie's.
Steven, take it away with Rosie's Draft Solutions.
Rosie's Draft Solution is a Long Island family-owned business that provides professional draft beer system services, line cleanings and maintenance, draft beer line system installs, event dispensing solutions, and more.
And more.
And more. They are passionate about craft beer and making sure it has the same quality as when it left the brewery, and is only done by making sure those lines are perfectly clean.
Nice.
Rosie services bars, restaurants, halls, events, and all other beverage establishments, including home kegerator installs.
Including. I like that one. Including. That's something there.
Across Long Island and Westchester. You can reach them at rosiedraftsolutions@gmail.com or call them at 631-219-2075 Monday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Mention the Wort, and I think now they are going to start doing Brazilian waxes if you mention the Wort.
Really?
Or maybe not.
That's exciting. I like that idea.
Keep everything clean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next is the masseuse table coming into the front door while you're getting your lines clean. You get a nice little rub down.
I like line clean, too. I like the way that sounds.
Yeah.
When you get your lines
Oh,
cleaned.
God, jeez.
Wow.
When's the last time you had your line cleaned there, Steve? Oh, God. All right. Well, thanks to Rosie's Draft Solutions being a faithful sponsor of our program. They have been one of the main reasons why we can be as successful as we can by allowing us to give back to our brewer guests that come on the show. It's really all about the cyclical,
That was a big word there.
Yeah, cyclical?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't think of the second word. I was going to say something
Yeah.
with a hand, but one hand
hamster
shakes the
trick,
other.
huh?
Yeah, then,
Yeah.
oh, God. I got to stay away from, yeah.
Rubbing backs and
Oh,
stuff.
my goodness. I'm not going to get
We're
into
back
all
at
that. So thanks to Rosie's Draft Solutions. Today we're also sponsored by Brewbag. Brewbag for your beer pong cornhole. Go to brewbag.com or go to our Instagram and link in our link tree. Get 10% off your Brewbag. It's a great little outdoor game where you can play beer pong cornhole, and now featuring full branding, full vinyl wrapping on the beer pong or Brewbag. And
They have a nice little, I guess, not championship, but they have leagues now.
Yeah.
Across New York, I definitely know in a lot of different breweries, and so you can actually join a
it's
league.
like a circuit almost.
A brew bag,
right?
yes.
Brewbag
Yeah,
circuit.
they definitely stop here in the warmer months. They do.
Oh, yeah.
One of the nights.
Yeah, there's a ton of breweries out, especially upstate. I think more because he's up in Buffalo.
Yep.
So he's able to get a lot of the upstate people involved with this. But brewbag.com for all of those needs, and we want to also thank Brewers Hardware. Brewers Hardware for your small batch or large capacity needs. Go to brewershardware.com. Type in promo code THEWART to reap 10% off your order and more. And thank them for allowing us again to have a nice little parting gifts for our brewer guests. And speaking of our brewer guests, we have Chris from Dubco here with
ahoy,
us
ahoy.
at his home. We are at his home. We call that
Not
the
literally,
brew.
but
Well,
yeah,
no.
figurative. Well,
Your second home.
kind of.
Home away from
couple
home.
of days a week.
There's
it's your home.
a couch here. So.
And a bag of grain.
And some grains. And
Chris, I want to start off because last time we left off with you, you were only thinking about having a second location. I want to
Wow,
get
is
into
it that long?
It was.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Years. And I want to see how that whole process went. Obviously, you have established yourself in upstate New York. Give us a little quick, journey into how that became to what it is right now.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the last time I talked to you, I guess it was just an idea at the time.
Yeah.
But I'd say.
And I actually think you told us the idea off air. I don't think you even said it on air.
I
But
don't know.
we were having a conversation after the
yeah,
show.
you know what? I think it was like the inkling. We had been looking. I'd say, we were talking earlier about how we did our big expansion in 2018. So it was shortly thereafter that we got this situated, up and running, and from the get-go, we know we wanted a second location somewhere, especially in the Hudson Valley. So it took from, I'd say, 2019, 2018. It took about 3 years to actually find something. Specifically in the Warwick Valley, the Warwick area. My wife's family's up there. We've been traveling up there for a very long time, and there was kind of in my eyes, a need for a brewery at the time. There was really no one around.
Yeah.
Tons of wineries, cider is huge up there.
Angry Orchard is up there, right?
Yeah, it's not far. That's over in Walden.
Yep.
That's not that far from us. So it took a few years. We looked at a lot of different locations. My idea was essentially just have like some kind of Main Street tap room, or something close to some other established populace.
Are we calling it a satellite?
right now we're calling it satellite tap room.
Okay. Now, no brewing is going on there.
There's no brewing going on there yet.
Keyword is yet.
Yeah. So the timeline that I'm trying to be realistic with is 2025, 2026 to have production up and running. I built out the first brewery here in Bayshore, and then we went through our expansion. So I've kind of come to realization things don't happen as quick as you hope or want them to. So that's why I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic and say, it's going to take 2 or 3 years to get production up and running. And we've already had this property. We bought it in June of 21, so it's already been a year and a half since I've had it.
Wow.
So, we have super long-term goals up there. We ended up not going the route of having like a Main Street location. We actually ended up buying a farm.
Cool.
So that's not necessarily what we wanted to do, but we found this property, and the second I saw it, I knew I had to have it. Super cool, 50-acre farm.
Yeah.
It was a dairy farm for 300 years. The
That's
original
crazy.
barn is on the property that was built in the mid-1700s, literally older than the United States.
Yeah.
But not older than Charlie from
No,
1940s.
Yeah, circa Charlie's birth year.
Yeah.
No, he had him as child's toys.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
what he played with in the.
Yeah.
That's where he hung
in the
out as a
cradle.
teenager.
Yes.
So we found this amazing property that we saw a ton of potential, and we ended up luckily getting it in the summer of 21, and spent the next year building out just the tap room. So that's our satellite tap room.
Yep.
And in turn, that'll help generate the income for all our future projects.
Now, do you have room for expansion there, or can you expand? Is there?
Yeah, we have a lot of room, and that was the biggest thing. We love Bayshore; it's our home. We are maxed out kind of with space and production at this location that we're sitting in today.
Yeah.
So we need, hopefully, in the future, room to grow. Or at least have an option. Here in Bayshore, we're just renting. We've been renting this building for 10 years, and from the beginning, we were trying to buy it because that rent adds up over time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And you can't necessarily do everything you want to do in a building that you don't own. So that doesn't seem to be the path of this situation in Bayshore. So we have a forever home up in Warwick. Whether we keep both or move production up there, that's yet to be determined. But
Now, is that sustainable to do a production up there and then bring down here, or would you?
yeah, we're doing the reverse now, right?
Right.
So we're producing everything in Bayshore and we're shipping up to Warwick. We're doing pretty big truckloads, like once a month. 5, 6, 7 pallets, and it seems to be working.
Yeah.
So if the situation did flip, the coin, and we only produce up there, it's not that bad to truck it down here.
5, 6, 7 pallets. You gotta rent a truck for that and everything, right?
Yeah, we use a logistics company.
Yeah.
Friend of ours and a friend of the beer community, Rob Ditzel. He has a logistics company that he hooks us up with trucking companies, and
Now, are you still using? You had at one point used Maltman. You guys still using?
No,
For
we
canning?
by the luck of it, we had started using Maltman back probably like 2016, 2017
Right.
when we started canning, and we both helped each other grow in that sense.
Yeah.
And it got to the point, financially, where we were using him so much, it made sense to buy our own canning equipment.
Yeah.
So we started that process, and we actually took delivery in April of 2020, or like 2 weeks after the world shut down.
COVID.
Oh boy.
So
Well, that was
we
the
were
saving grace,
fortunate
I guess, in the
enough
end,
that everything we had in the tank now had to be canned. We couldn't keg anything anymore. So we kind of got lucky in that sense that we got that thing right when the world shut down, and we didn't have to worry about getting anybody in, and then the beer was stuck in the
Sure.
tank, and we've been doing our own canning ever since.
Now, we're here for a reason today. We're going to be embarking on a journey of you and Steven doing a collaboration beer.
That's correct.
Give us a little rundown of kind of where the idea for the beer we're going to brew today came from, and then how did
we were drunk.
Yeah,
No, like the actual
that's
story.
true.
Okay.
A little bit of the idea of how it came to be what we're going to be doing.
Well, I had the idea years ago,
Yeah.
and I
To
just
do
it just
this
never
level?
just never came to fruition.
Right.
And then we closed, and then it got brought up again out of nowhere. I mean, we've done a couple of collabs of old beers that were Barrage old beers, but this is a brand new.
I love that idea.
Never done
because
before.
I love your traveling series of bringing back old Barrage beers.
It is.
Series. It's like a fucking circus, I think.
Yeah, it is a circus, that's for sure. But I was super excited when you wanted to do a new kind of Barrage collaboration. That was exciting. So I'm sure you have a million other beer ideas you never got to do. I know. I still have a ton of beers.
Yeah,
There's
always those ones that you're just like, yeah, I'll get to it.
Yeah,
one day.
It's in a cardboard box underneath his Playboys under his bed.
Oh, Playboys really?
How do you know where they are? How do you know where they are?
He showed me. We looked at him like little kids again. Like,
but this beer, this is I don't know. I think it's kind of like a new style, or it could be. I don't know of anybody that really did.
We're making it one.
Yeah,
we're making.
I mean, it's a cross between a couple different styles that I don't think
styles,
anybody's.
Yeah, but I think the idea and the concept of like crossing those styles, and I think I have faith.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes.
Well, tell us about it. That's why we're here.
Yeah, so
it's going to be a.
Steve had the idea of
he was tight-lipped.
Cream ale.
He was tight-lipped. He's like,
cream ales are kind of like a cross between an ale and a lager. Clean malt profile. And I thought it'd be a good vessel to throw some other cool ideas in. We threw some corn in there. That's traditional in a cream ale. But then, after talking about especially the ABV and cream ales are traditionally lower ABV, and we're just saying we're from the same school where it's not less is more is more.
More is more and better.
Yes,
more gooder.
So we're going imperial on this one. We're shooting for a target of high 7s, low 8s, 8%er. And we're throwing some lactose in there, and a little creaminess, and some lemon and almond,
Yeah. A little bit of vanilla.
Yeah, touch of vanilla. Vanilla, in anything, especially with fruit, I feel is like that little sprinkle of salt on the top of a steak, Like when you have those flavors, a little bit of vanilla just elevates everything a little bit.
Now you've we've had cream ales. Like I just recently had the Genesee cream ale. We're used to having that stuff at a 4.9, maybe high 4s, low 5s.
Lame.
Yeah. No, we're not going to be doing that here today. 8%. You're bordering on kind of high octane imperial style. How do we keep, what are the check marks here to make sure that we're not going to cross that line, if that's not what you want to do?
I mean, once again, it's a clean flavor profile on a cream ale. We're just bumping the ABV on it.
Now, when we're
using that as a vessel for all the other fun things we're throwing in there.
Well, I was about to say, so when you're putting those in there, the idea here is to constantly monitoring, obviously, ABV, but to kind of mask some of the heat that comes with a higher ABV with some other flavors, like you said, almond and lemon.
You know what, though?
That'll tone it down a little bit.
If a beer is brewed correctly or brewed well, you're not going to get that heat burn. You'll perceive it slightly, but
right. It's not like it's 18%.
Right. Right. Yeah, you're not going to get that.
But when you have a beer that doesn't have all the hops in it, right, or you have like a stout that's 8, sometimes I feel a little more heat there. When you can kind of mask it, you can mask it a little better with some of the hop, so we don't have those strong hop flavors here.
Well, with this too, it's the idea too is it's just like this. It's going to look nice and clearish and have that creamy white head, but you're going to have these flavors that are going to come at you.
Yeah,
like a flavor bomb.
When you look at it from a distance, you can be like, "Oh, that's a regular cream ale," and then all of a sudden you're going to put it to your nose. You can be like, "Nah, man, what the fuck's going on here?" And then you're going to drink and you're going to go, "Okay, what the really fuck is going on here?"
Yeah, it's a Jedi mind trick kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. Or as I like to call it, the mind fuck beer.
Yeah, the mind fuck.
But in talking with Steve about this concept, when we decided to go higher ABV, we want that kind of flavor bomb, and you need that vessel of a higher ABV beer to carry that through.
Yeah, otherwise it's just watered down kind of feel. Yeah. If you try to do that in a 4.9, it's like, more flavor than anything else.
And I think a cream ale. We used to do a cream ale that was the Clancy, which was a white chocolate cream ale, but that was a low ABV, but it went over really well. People really enjoyed it. Again, they looked at it and they didn't think anything until they got the aroma, and then
Yeah.
then all of a sudden they, oh shit, what's going on here? And that's kind of, this beer is going to be that way. It's going to be, again, higher ABV, where you're going to drink and you're going to eventually know it after a few pints.
So you were calling it a pastry cream ale.
Yeah.
Is that the category you can enter it into the competition?
Considering there is no.
Yeah, right, exactly. And the winner is
Category, our
Adjunct
category is shitheads, right?
Yeah.
That's our category.
Yeah, Imperial Pastry Cream Ale.
just the other at the bottom of the
Yeah,
score
this is
sheet.
definitely
Other. Experimental.
Yes.
I don't mind that idea. Now, the distribution of this, we're just going to be doing it in kegs, having in tasting rooms both up at Acres and here.
Yeah, we'll do kegs. We're going to can some of it off for for tap room sales.
And you do have a label already thought
we got
about
it
printed?
in the works.
Okay.
Our assistant brewer Jimmy is also our graphic designer. So
Okay.
we kicked around some ideas. We're using Sicilian lemon, which is even more sweet than say a Meyer lemon. So you're not. It's not going to be like licking a lemon you bought in Stop and Shop.
Or a limoncello or something like that.
Yeah,
nature,
so that limoncello kind of sugary lemon flavor is what we're shooting for. So we're trying to invoke, like Italy and the Amalfi Coast or something, like a nice bright label. It's going to be a bright beer with the vanilla and the almond and the lemon in there. So yeah, we got some cool ideas kicking around the label front.
The last few collaborations you've done your old recipes. Now we're into a new one.
Yeah.
Was this something that I know you said you were knocking around for a while? Have you tried this out on a smaller system? Something to this level?
This
This
is literally
like all
brand new.
Wow.
I mean, I had the idea. I actually had it in my phone forever because I didn't want to forget what it was.
Right.
And yeah, it's just been
I
sitting
find
there.
old books from like 10 years ago with ideas, and I'm like, oh, that's still a good idea.
Yeah.
Something that comes back around.
Yeah.
You thought of a style or an adjunct profile, and you're like, well, now that's hot. Boom.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. You hold on to things, and then somewhere down the line, all of a sudden it presents itself, and you're like, yeah, I think this is a good time to do it.
Now, so someone's dropping off bread.
Yeah, nice.
Sandwiches.
Thank you.
So the future here of what you want to do, do you have other ones that you're looking to move forward in the collaboration world with? You have something lined up?
Actually, no.
Good.
I just
Now it's time to take
This
this.
might spur the creative juices
Yeah.
again, if you will.
it's just one of those. This actually might be my last collab.
Really?
Yeah, this might be the last one. I think I'm.
You've
Retiring.
Well, you know what? Everybody's kind of.
You've done it all.
Everybody's kind of done with. Oh yeah, Barrage. Okay, they're gone. We missed
Are
them.
they though?
Yeah, they're all.
Because every time they
had
come
enough.
out, people
They had
are
enough,
shooting.
yeah.
Every time you post something, people are always clamoring. There's some still talks. There's chatter. There's some chatter out there.
Did chatter.
Yeah. I mean, look, when we're going to kind of flip time here for a minute, but when we go into the brew house, we'll see how busy you actually are on these collabs and how backbreaking the work is.
Man, I'm shot right now. Shot. Freaking Chris is a goddamn.
Put that old horse to work.
Yeah, he's. You can't beat the old mirror.
Knock the rust off.
Beat the fucking old mare so much, and he drops.
Yeah. We don't need you dropping.
I've seen Steve drop. It's not pretty.
No, it's not.
From drinking, but not working.
Yeah, well.
You drink hard, not working.
That's a full-time job. in
Yeah.
itself.
So, Chris, tell us a little bit about what's been going on down here. Your production facility, obviously, you're cranking out beers. You have a collaboration with Bright Eye. You've had a bunch of stuff happen. You got another brew day tomorrow, doing double brew day tomorrow.
Yeah, we've been rocking and rolling, man. And we've done a couple collabs recently. We've taken a break for them just because we were, trying to keep up with production on stuff that we have like 4 or 5 core beers we're focusing on now. That was part of 22.
Yeah.
A lot of breweries making a lot of great beers. So we pulled it in a little bit and focused on, we have our Dubco IPAs are year round. We have our Hazy Escape, which is a 5.5%. We don't call it a session IPA because that's a dirty word.
Yeah.
We just call it, we just call it a Hazy IPA, but it's only 5.5%.
Yeah.
People have really jumped on that. It's a crusher. And lagers, lagers are here again, and they're here to stay, and they're some of our best-selling beers. So we've been focusing a lot on that.
Yeah, Layover is a classic.
Yeah,
It's a core brand at this point.
It is, and it's one of those beers that I always wanted it to be. And 3, 4, 5 years ago when hazy was the big thing, and it was hard to even give away craft lager. And fortunately, we've come back to like, all right, people are coming in and then crushing lagers.
It takes a while for those hype styles to kind of calm down a little bit, and
you
it's
still
still
have to have
there.
them. You still have to have them, but there's a reason lager is the most popular style in the world, right? And
It's only been brewed for thousands of years.
yeah,
That's it.
And that was one of those those core beers that I started brewing like almost from the beginning. And who was looking for lagers in 2016, 2015? But we're fully behind that now, and we're cranking that out. And it's been hard to keep it around. Lagers, they take a while, they take up tank space, but we're dedicated to it now. And so we that was kind of 22 for us, and then. Things slowed down around the holidays. We're jumping on a bunch of these collabs. We just did one with Bright Eye that we're excited with. We're doing a beer dinner with them. Hennigan's around those two. It's a hazy pale and a West Coast style.
Oh, that's cool.
Just brewed with Noble Savage, and he's coming back at the end of the month to brew again here. Excited about this Barrage one.
What's the Noble Savage collab?
The one we have on tap here that we brewed up by Frank is a Grisette, actually. 3.5%
Really?
Grisette. Yeah, big departure from what he's doing. He's doing a bunch of,
heavy 8%.
Yeah, he's doing a bunch of crazy hazies right now, which is great, and he wanted to do something different, which I appreciate. But when he comes here, we're doing a big old hazy double IPA.
There you go.
Now he was impacted by COVID and being a small place up in the middle of the North Shore, kind of isolated on an island almost.
Yeah.
He's really making a turn. It shows that if the will is there, you can
build it, they will come.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully.
Yeah. No, they will. They'll be up there. And if not, listen, his recipes, his knowledge, and what he does will definitely travel with him, regardless of having his own place or being with somebody else and being part of that.
He's doing good things up there.
Oh yeah.
He's really, really dedicated. He's been in brewing for quite a while. And it took a beating trying to get open. Yeah.
That was tough. We've heard that story, and it's a nice place too, man. The tap room's really nice. The brewing space is small, but for what he's doing, it works out, and he makes the most of his space. And you make the most of your space. So I remember, walking in.
Right. So we're actually sitting in the old brew house.
Right.
Yeah, right where you're the mash tun.
Yeah.
I'm the kettle. Yeah. No, we're sitting
right here.
Yeah. I mean, we started. We opened with a 1 barrel, which I would not recommend.
Nope.
And then we upgraded to a 3 very quickly thereafter. And then we rocked that 3 barrel system for quite a few years. We just sold it to Motion. Motion's using that.
Oh, that's right.
Massapequa, I think last year. We would use it even throughout the years after a big expansion for some test batch stuff and some fun stuff. And then, when we got busy, it kind of fell by the wayside, and it was kind of a shame, and it was nice to pass it forward to someone who is also jammed up on a smaller system, looking to upgrade and crank out some more products. So
we were talking to Angel, both in an interview with them and then a Blue Point, and they've been making the most of that stuff for sure.
Yeah,
because they're doing all sorts of stuff besides.
I can commiserate with not having enough capacity or wanting to do more than you can do. So they jumped on it right away, and I was happy to see it got a good home. They're doing cider and mead and beer.
Yeah, exactly. They're doing everything. And have the amount of tank space for all of that stuff to work. That's tough.
Yeah.
And in a one space strip mall.
I've seen the back.
Yeah. It's tight.
Man.
Yeah. You know what? This is a smaller space we're sitting in, but it's a lot roomier than Motion. Have you ever seen the back of 27, eh?
Yeah.
Too.
There is some tight quarters out there.
Yeah.
So I don't complain about that. But
and so you guys moved this now back next door. So you took control of the next door. I remember when I was in here, early on when you guys were relatively first open, that was locked off, and then it was a door, but couldn't get over there. And now there's a tank as soon as you walk there.
Yeah. So kind of right when we needed it, again, the timing was right.
Yeah.
We were at capacity. We had the 3 barrel system here, 5 3-barrel fermenters, and then we had bought a couple 10-barrel fermenters from Sand City when they upgraded some of their tanks, and we were triple batching every day to fill 10-barrel tanks on 3. It's rough. That's a long day.
Yeah, we're doing one batch today, and it's you're an hour and a half in, 2 hours, and you still just sitting on. And imagine having to remill, reboil
2 more times, and
you hear all that.
Yeah.
10-hour day easily.
Oh,
That's a
those
long day.
Those triple days, I got down to just over 12, maybe 14 hours, like, to make 10 barrels
and you
of
got
beer.
that down.
Yeah, and today we'll make 10 barrels in about 5 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of at that time, there was a CrossFit gym next to us, and they had a double unit, and their lease was up. They weren't renewing, so we jumped on it. So we were lucky. They have a double unit. They had already taken down the wall, so it's double the space next door. And since it was a gym, it was kind of a blank canvas. So it was easier, to kind of work on everything and get it to where we needed to be.
Get to the drains, the plumbing, and then electric and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Your utilities, as they say.
Yeah.
The now you've converted this space that we're sitting into an extension of the tap room, more asses in seats, more capacity.
Right.
And you have your barrel program back
key,
here.
Yeah, that was
which is
key there in
awesome
the
as
past
well.
couple of years with the crazy restrictions we had, having to sit down and
remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That was crazy.
I see you guys took the tents down outside.
Yeah, we'd always take them down in the winter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we in the warmer weather we always have seating out front too.
Yeah.
But we have we kind of took this room over for extra seating and to store our barrel projects. We have a lot of barrel projects going right now, as you can see behind us.
I was looking at Solera and Sonar.
Yeah, these are all barrel aged mixed cultures and sour beers right now. We actually like October, November, December, we had a bunch of like clean barrel aged stuff, barrel aged barley wine, stout. We had all that come out for around the holidays. So these are longer term projects. The Solera would be at least a year, 18 months.
Yeah, and you have LiDAR in the fridge over there. I noticed that was...
Yeah. That's kind of the tail end of that. It's sad to see those go because with all these wild beers and mixed cultures, you'll never recreate that one beer. So it's
say goodbye to old friends.
Yeah, but then there's new friends. There's new friends.
We're making new ones.
And we just we were talking earlier. We this past Saturday, Gun Hill up in the Bronx, they do a barrel aged beer fest, and this year it was predominantly barrel aged sours. Not as many whiskey barrel aged stouts and stuff, which is nice because that becomes a kind of sloppy mess.
Yeah.
These are a little lower ABV,
On the streets of the
some
Bronx.
more interesting styles, and it's fun to see other breweries what they're doing out there with these barrel projects.
Now, you guys, like you said before, have a bunch of stuff coming out in the next, you're brewing over the next few days, and of course, stuff coming out always. What are the next few things on the schedule? What are you looking forward to? What's coming up in the season?
Right now, what I'm looking forward to, besides keeping our core beers in production constantly.
Yeah, how often do you brew those? Like,
Dubco
layover lager, let's say.
Dubco IPA will do a 10 every week or a 20 every other week right now. Layover, it's pretty much, since it's a lager, that's an 8-week beer.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like as soon as we're getting ready to package a batch, we're brewing the next one, So it's kind of trying to find that offset, and that offset's always changing. It's January right now.
Yeah.
Dry January. But we're not seeing that much of a drop off. It was busy here all weekend. It was busy up at Acres all weekend. So I think people are like, screw dry January. We're hanging.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing damp.
Yeah,
Damp January.
Damp.
Yeah, I'm not gonna not drink. But
I am soaking wet
I'm not
January.
gonna get
I
fucked.
drank
well,
my
yeah,
ass off for the
well, I
last
was gonna say
2 weeks.
You're a little different.
Post Christmas, man. It's been just drinking. Well, football's on. You got hockey on. There's
There's
so
a lot
many
going on.
Yeah,
so you gotta wet the whistle. But
people hanging out. You're gonna see over the holidays. I don't get to see friends. I basically am tied to family.
Right.
And then it's after the holidays on the next
all
few
the
weekends.
friends,
Then
yeah.
it's all the friends weekends, and then we're going out to restaurants, going out to
Right.
bars, hanging out, going to Islanders games, doing everything.
I'm in the same boat.
It's hard. It's hard to stay dry January when there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
Damn.
But we're doing a beer we haven't done in a very long time that I think is going to be appropriate for the season and kind of like everyone's mind space right now. We're doing our Belgian double rainbow, which we haven't done in years.
yeah.
Double rainbow.
It's a beer we opened with back in 2015, and the trend that I'm seeing, I don't know if I'm seeing it because I'm like willing it to happen, but all these traditional styles are coming back to the forefront. You know, we were drinking our collab with Wild East is an Italian Pilsner,
Delicious.
and they're one of those breweries that loves to brew true to style, and they just fucking nail it, and they're like next to Other Half basically, and so you have that good juxtaposition, like Other Half and Wild East, they're doing like all the super traditional
Crispy
stuff.
boy, hazy boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a Christmas.
So it's nice. It's nice to bring or nice to get them out there and to get the appreciation for these styles that like 2 years ago you couldn't give away a Belgian Double or an ESB or a Czech dark lager, and now like these are the things people are looking for, geeking out over the normal stuff.
Well, if we look at the population, right, I think the amount of craft beer newcomers is less than it was maybe 5 or 10 years ago. So now they're all kind of indoctrinated into the world, and they'll move along with the trends, and they'll also develop their palates. So as those initial like hazy IPAs got them into it, now they're like, oh, well, let me go back to kind of what I started with lagers and pilsners and the Bud Lights and Coronas and stuff like that, and bring it into the new age of the craft world, and that's exactly it. And I'm kind of in that way. I mean, I was indoctrinated with Magic Hat and Stone and Dogfish, and I'm going backwards after I did that to. I was super into hazies, and now I'm like, I can go without a hazy. I could do, a Pilsner and a Kolsch and delicious beer tasting beer now.
Yeah, my kind of inauguration into craft was the only thing you can get was Belgian stuff, German stuff, English stuff. I love Sam Smith and any Belgian I could find back in the day. That was like the craft beer section in most of the beer stores. Yeah. And then Number 9 and.
I was finding myself really enjoying, like I say, Genesee Cream Ale we had a couple weeks ago. Got a 30 rack of that, and we were drinking it like crazy. And then like Utica Lock. Oh my
Utica
God.
Club.
Yeah,
that's most especially New York brewers. That's our guilty pleasure. We always usually have like a suitcase of them in the walk-in.
Yep, that you have to.
We have a mule. You can't get them down here. No. And even up in Warwick, I look at the local stores.
Really?
And,
you got to be in Cooperstown. Cooperstown's like the easiest place to find them.
One of our regulars, Tim, he's got a ski house up at Wyndham, so he was up at Wyndham a lot. Okay, and he always brings us back a case too.
30 rack.
Yeah, and they're gone by the next weekend. So
it's such an easy drinking beer, and they taste good. And that's the thing. Like you want good tasting beer. Yep. So in the moving forward, like through the BOW programs and all that, is there anything like experimental or anything else radical that you have planned? You're trying to kind of make happen?
I mean, not per se radical or experimental. There's always going to be the next hazy double IPA with a different combination of hops or some other fruited sour with different combinations of fruit. But yeah, we're focusing on, like I said, our core products this year, and then sprinkling in all the fun stuff. And then I want to get back to doing more collabs. Like we all have these crazy ideas, and then you get to talking and drinking with a brewer, and it's like, well. Did you ever think of doing this? No, let's try this. So that's the fun stuff that spurs the creativity going forward, and also keeps you grounded. We were just brewing Bride Eye, and we were showing their brewer our system, and they have a same equipment manufacturer, but just a different kind of equipment. And he's like, "Oh, why are you doing that?" I'm like, "Oh, because of this." And he's like, "I never thought to do that." And it's like something stupid. You're sitting there drinking a beer, like just watching somebody do something the way they do it, and it might be easier, faster, or just different, and you're just like, wow, I just never thought of that. Because sometimes you're too
perspective from a different angle.
Yeah, you're too close to it, and that's what I love. Just getting out there and just talking to other people, see the brewing world through their eyes, kind of. So that's our focus, like the next 6 months, and once summer hits, we're going to be, we don't even know if coming or going. We're going to be so busy.
Well, speaking of that, you guys always have some great events here. Well known as Dubtoberfest in October.
That's a good one.
What are some other ones you got planned on the schedule for this upcoming year?
In the spring, I don't really know right now.
Anything up in Dubco Acres?
We're up in the Acres. We're doing a lot of smaller little events. We're hosting a fundraiser for some guy running for town council or something.
Really?
We have a small kitchen up there that we kind of inherited when we took over the property. That's part of the tap room that's been out of service for a while. So we're getting that kitchen up and running. So once we have
you're doing a kitchen.
Yeah, once we have food up there, that'll open up a lot more avenues for stuff.
Sure. But does that, and up there with the food, does that now kind of handcuff you on other things? Like right now, are you dog friendly and then campy? That kind of thing tends to come and go. I mean, you are a farm,
that's a question, I guess, for the Department of Health, Orange County.
Yeah.
So, these are things that we're navigating right now. We're hoping to get that figured out, like, that was our goal. Like over the winter when things kind of slow down a little bit, is to get that figured out.
What's the vision for the menu? Are you thinking?
We're keeping it simple. We're not doing the food. I'm a beer guy. I'm not a food guy. So we're kind of partnering with one of our favorite food trucks up there.
Okay.
So he's gonna kind of rent the kitchen space from us and do his thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
Very, very smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he can rotate it too, being a food truck. And,
Right,
and,
yeah,
you can
yeah.
kind of change
He
it
makes-
up on the
makes
fly. if
great
you need
food,
to.
and he's kind of like pigeonholed right now what he can do on a truck. So when he has a regular kitchen, he's got a million ideas,
Sure.
But yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And for winter into spring, there's not much stuff going on here or there. We have our big ski trip coming up in March. We do every year. We rent the entire mountain at Plattekill. It's a cool thing they started a bunch of years ago that I think 2018 was our first year, 2019.
You guys leave on a bus from here, right?
Yeah. It's a bus trip from here. We're doing a bus from here. I think there's a stop or another bus going from Manhattan and a bus from Warwick. So,
Wow.
crazy fun day. A couple hundred people. Take over the whole mountain. It's just whoever shows up and on the bus, and beers and breakfast and lunch and fun on the snow.
And it's not in January.
No, thank God, because it's not winter right now. So hopefully in March it's winter.
It actually is winter. Everything's shifting very strange.
It's crazy.
It's terrible.
So that's the next thing we're really looking forward to.
That's cool. That sounds like a lot of
It
fun.
is.
I remember some of the trips from the Good Life that we talked about. And they were doing trips like that. So kind of reminiscent of those ideas.
It's fun to get back to stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's been a
and
while.
that's the thing. It's been years. It feels like things. Although, and on my end, that's great. But I feel like sometimes when we did come back, it was a little overkill. Everyone wanted to do everything at the same time.
Yeah.
I think just a little bit of communication, not brewery-wise, but in general in life, for people to talk to each other, be like, all right, listen, we're going to do this. Let's spread it out instead of having it all in a week or all within the month. And
There was a
everyone
little
just
bit there where everyone
rushed.
kind of rushed to do everything and then got burnt out.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
there's a better pace of fun things going on right
Yes,
now.
it is. Absolutely. We're kind of back to at least mostly normal.
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
You're all right. You're gonna. I think you need more beer. I think that's the
that
thing.
it is?
Fueled by beer. and
Yes.
you-
Beer?
Oh.
What is beer?
Beer. What did you do over the holiday break, Steve?
What didn't I do?
Yeah.
Just way
Too much drinking?
Oh
I
my
feel
God.
so-
Is
feel
that
the
why
same.
January came as dry or muddled or whatever, damp, whatever you want?
Yeah, I got hurt a lot.
I saw you on one of the hurt days.
My
which is-
liver was basically going on strike, whether
Yeah.
I liked it or not. It really had enough of me, and was ready to fucking check out. So I was like, you know what? This January thing of not drinking for a little bit might be in my favor.
Okay.
Might not. I might live for another year.
So you
Sort of.
lasted 16 days.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
That's good
yes. Bro, you got to start somewhere. You got to walk before you run, or drink before you sip before you pound, or something
Sure.
like that.
Yeah.
Guzzle.
Guzzle.
There
There
you
you
go.
go. That's the word I was looking for.
Chris, you're commuting back and forth, commuting from down here to up there, back and forth. How is the traffic? What are you noticing about, the people coming and going?
It's not
and,
that bad. I mean, my previous life when I was in construction, I was on the road all day, every day anyway. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind the commute, and I leave super early or super late, so I'm missing the traffic, you leave at the right time, and I'm flying through in less than 2 hours.
You have it
It's
down to a
not
science
bad.
now. Science
yeah,
of driving home right.
Yeah.
Into driving back home.
Yeah.
There you go.
And what's the difference? And I know you probably spent some time in the Acres tap room. Difference in population between down here and up there. Difference in people, what they like, and the stuff that they're asking for.
Going back to what I was saying earlier, especially at Acres, we're seeing that customer base leaning heavily towards those traditional styles.
They are, yeah.
Styles that they're comfortable with. Like we have pretty much the same tap list, but the lagers, our farmhouse ale, our stowaway stout, which is a traditional American stout.
Yeah.
Those move a lot faster per se than like the double IPAs or the fruited sours. People.
Which is what's happening here still, correct?
Yeah, I
it's
mean
very-
here's more. I'd say it's leaning towards more, craft beer centric styles. Like the double IPAs and stuff are doing better here as opposed to there, but it kind of balances each other out, right?
Right. I was gonna say, so in the scheduling, you're kind of seeing that, all right, so we're going to allot this many up there, this many down here.
Yeah.
You kind of have a sense for that already.
Yeah, and we're in kind of like a touristy area up there, so you still get, yesterday we were there and bus of 40, 30-year-old somethings came in and they crushed all the hazies. So
you never know.
Yeah, and then there's 40 and 50-year-old guys sitting at the bar watching football and they're just crushing layovers. You know, so you think you have it figured out and then you don't, and but it seems to be up there like the safer styles that they know and love are what they're gravitating towards.
So we're going to go into the brew house right now. I think it's a good time to go over and do that. Let's check out the process. You guys are going to go in, kind of start, getting the beer ready. Give us a little.
To what, drink?
No.
Oh, I thought it happens that quick.
I thought you got that brewmate thing where we
it's on it. We made that already.
It'd be interesting to do.
I thought you hit start, Steve.
A full
capacity,
a full capacity beer versus a beer maker beer, and have like a true like runoff of the two. Interesting.
No, it's not.
No,
No, it's
sorry, beer maker.
It's really.
We have a real brew house here.
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough
I
just thought maybe it'd be interesting to see the
You know what it
differences.
is? That's just a lot of work for a little beer.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work for a lot of beer.
It's a long time to wait too.
Or not a lot of work for me.
Right.
For a lot of beer.
Yeah.
So.
I have to still brew that double IPA, by the way, in that beer maker. I gotta do that. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, so let's go into the brew house. Let's
get to work.
see what's going on, get to work, and then we'll be right back after this.
Cheers.
Here's the Word with Mike, Pete, and Steve, GovsRadio.com, and we'll be right back. We'll see you in the brew house.
Govs Radio.
This is the Wort on Govs Radio.
Sorry, what base one were you say we were going?
We're using RAR 2-row base malt, just a standard 2-row. Some a neutral flavor profile. Steve and I were just talking about.
Morning.
We're gonna use it as like a vessel for all the other cool flavors we're using. The Sicilian lemon,
Sicilian lemon.
Sicilian lemon,
All day.
which I'm intrigued. I'm Sicilian, so
Buongiorno.
I call Buongiorno.
Very, very impressed, Chris. You still got it there, bro. You're opening those bags like you do this all the time.
Steve's like riding a bike.
So I said the first
You
day he came
fall
back
off
to brew,
enough
I'm like,
times and you figure it out.
There's definitely an art to opening up
Yes.
the grain bags.
Yes, there is.
And every bag's different.
yeah. Some are way easier than others.
Yeah.
See, that one's a nice little pull tab.
Yeah. Little jammy like that. Right. Yeah, so this is not premium. Okay. Yeah, we've been using like BSG will pre-mill the fucking oats for you, so you don't have to change the gap setting on your mill.
Oh, all right.
But you didn't do it this time.
Oh.
It's all good though.
Thank you, guys.
Make you go through it. Do some milling.
Keep our count over here.
There you go. You still got the back for it too. I see that.
I thought you were just banging out.
Yeah. That was the toughest part after coming back and being in the saddle. Not being in the saddle for almost a year.
Getting those muscles working
Getting those
again.
muscles working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now everybody can throw one in. Say they did their part.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm the hop guy.
Your hot bay? Hey, there was a nice Barrage sticker at Gun Hill.
Every so often we find them.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we were using. I think it was Best Vienna a couple weeks ago. And we did a CIP on the mash tun. Spray wells got clogged. like a handful of fucking pebbles.
Holy shit.
Like a handful came out of the spray ball. It was wild.
Is that because of the cold?
Yeah.
Is it weather related? Or is it just what they...
Pebbles?
Yeah.
No, you should not have pebbles
No,
in your
You'd
mold.
surprised some of the stuff you see come out of the bags.
Oh my God.
Not as bad as like New York right now.
Empty that fucker today.
I mean, it's just what they pick up, but they have filtering systems for that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it gets through,
Yeah,
I
it's
guess.
somebody, who knows,
Yeah.
maybe somebody was cleaning out the filter at that time and some got
no,
through.
it's fine.
and-
I mean, 'cause now it's only 20 halves that we need. So you already pulled 8.
So you're getting your malt from Raw, obviously.
We have a
Most
bunch of
the
different
stuff we're using
suppliers.
today are.
I mean, like that was one of the biggest things in the past couple of years with fucking COVID.
Yeah.
Is like
Yeah.
supply chain issue. BSG's out of Rhode Island. That's like RAR, Wireman, and some of the specialty stuff. Like we use Crisp. They sell Crisp or Simpsons. Country Malt sells Best. That's German or Canadian. CMC, that's from BSG, and then we get our New York stuff. Like we got in 1886. Were you ever using 1886?
Used them right before we closed.
Yeah,
And they were, I mean, they had gotten a lot better, but
that got a lot better, and that was our predominant base malt for like a year or two. And during COVID, they shut down, and they turned it into an ethanol producing factory.
I told Chris
They
about
make
that.
fucking hand sanitizer.
Oh, yes, right, yeah.
And,
Did you take it off the top?
yeah, they're
it's
making
like
more money doing hand sanitizer than selling grain. So.
Yeah. My God.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
We were hoping to come back because it was like better quality. It hit the New York box. But that's how it goes.
We got 13 bags of malt?
I think 14,
14?
14 of base, 2 row.
What are we going into? 6?
This makes life a lot easier. Just having it shoot right up there and be done.
What's that?
I said it makes it a lot easier for it to just be dumping in there and having
Yeah, having the grist case is a godsend. Like, luckily, we had the height to put it. We were just brewing at Bright Eye.
You're maxing it out up there. It's close.
We maxed it out. Like that holds just under 1,000 pounds, and some of our recipes are
yeah.
12, 1,300, 1,400 pounds. So you gotta like send in under 1,000, start mashing in, and have a guy throwing bags in as it starts going down. Yeah,
What were you saying about Bright Eye?
Yeah, we brewed with them a couple weeks ago. We did a collab over there, one here, one there. You were like, oh my god. That's amazing. And I'm like, oh, like, yeah, it's like, no, wait till you come by us.
Yeah.
And the same thing. There's a guy like mashing in and a guy just feeding bags. And it's just like feed and go, feed and go.
Yeah. That's what we used to do. Have one guy over there,
Yeah.
one guy up top.
I mean, especially, like, we're double batching a lager tomorrow. So we'll mill in the first batch tonight. It's ready to go. Walk in the morning, pull it open. Mill in the second one, It's definitely convenient. Not as cool as a silo, but
Silo's overrated.
Yeah.
not until you see the price. I was just talking to Paul from Ghost. They're trying to figure out how to tie in GSB silos
Oh.
and auger them over to the Ghost side
Yeah.
because it's literally half the price for grain.
Oh yeah. When you get bulk like that?
Yeah, like I think they get RAR.
Yep.
And they get it for 33 cents a pound. Wow.
That's 'cause they're ordering
buying
so
it by the
much
bag
like that.
is like 68 to 71. Wow. It's literally half price. You cut your grain in half. I mean, that's,
What I'm wound about is thinking about the last time I bought grain.
yeah, how much is that?
Before
50
before
cents?
COVID. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Wireman pills, it's like 79 cents a pound.
Oh my.
All the specialty shit's $1.20 now. Yeah.
Yeah, there goes margins.
And what are you gonna do? Have a fucking $12 pint in the tap room? You can't do that. So you just eat it. You just, you know? On January 1st, I got emails from every supplier. Due to ongoing supply chain issues, we're increasing prices another 20%.
But aren't they making it? It's not.
It's fucking wild, dude.
Some of them are making it themselves. Like, where's raw based out of?
But the problem is, it's shipping also. Shipping
That's not a supply chain issue. That's more like a transportation cost, right?
Well, you know what it comes down to two. One, because the industry was in such flux, they back off everything.
All right,
Stop
so
producing stuff.
Supply issue.
Stop, workers not having enough. There's so many things involved.
And when I think supply chain issues, I think more of the product's not available. But if you're the one making the product, it would be based off market need, and you would just rev back up. I mean, if you need to meet the market demand.
Well,
Also
kind of what
depends.
happened with everybody too. When the world shut down, everybody stopped production.
Right.
So like
Supplies
when
went
that
through.
fucking freight train comes to a halt, to get that back up and running again, especially who knows how big like the raw malting facility
Or
is.
their backup
You
or
know,
their
I don't know.
warehouse supply. Yep. Or the unsteadiness.
Or what they do is they're like, well, a lot of these guys aren't doing anything. We're not gonna do this. We're gonna take that wheat or any of that grain, and now it's gonna become flour for bread.
Right.
Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
crazy.
God forbid, make it hard seltzer.
Yeah, that seems to have calmed down quite a bit.
It's dead, man. It's over. At least craft hard seltzer. People still crush fucking Trulies and White Claws all day. But
yeah. But those are 22-year-old girls and
yeah,
and guys.
we do like
Don't
one or two a
underestimate
year.
The Long Island housewife. She likes a good
Yes.
White Claw,
Yep.
especially after the kids go to bed.
I was just gonna say that.
Crushing White Claws all night. Yeah, you're right. That whole kind of fad where everyone
Fizzled
needed to
out.
have one on tap kind of
Fizzled out.
dissipated. Now, you think it's because not just the demand, but was it a conscious effort to kind of push that? And
Well, you know what? If somebody had it and they were having people come in, you had to have it. So then everybody's like, well, I got to have it because they're all going to this guy because now I got to have it. So it just went right across. Everybody had to do at least one.
Calm down when they realized
And then
you
once
really
it
didn't have to do
No.
that. People could have one and you didn't have to.
It sucks to make, man. It is not easy. We started messing around with it about 4 or 5 years ago on the small scale. First, like 3 or 4 batches, dumped it. Like, there's
It's
no
a different animal, right?
There's no nutrients and there's no protein from like what you get from grain. You don't realize like how much is in there,
right,
helping fermentation. So you just throw fucking sugar and water and yeast. And it's like, oh yeah, like no, it's not like that at all. Then we got the process down. We figured it out, and it's not too bad. But like, it doesn't clear up. Even if you put biofine, any kind of clarifying, it won't clear up.
Yep.
So then it's like, fuck, now I gotta filter it. Because I'm like, if you're gonna have seltzer, it has to be crystal clear.
Yeah.
Otherwise, seltzer looks like dirty water.
Fresca.
Yeah.
It looked like Fresca.
I don't know. So yes, and then we had to filter it. That's a whole nother fucking process. So we do like one a year now, and it lasts the year.
Yep.
And it's an option. Fucking stupid.
Which one are they throwing in now?
acidulated malt.
Acidulated malt. Now, what would that do?
It's just an acid, basically. It's going to help.
Helps conversion, yeah.
Yep.
We adjust our pH in the mash tun with acid malt.
Okay.
So they spray it with like lactic acid. So it helps balance the pH for conversion.
Is that to counteract local water, or is it just in general?
Just in general.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you were.
Yeah, I mean, you can use like liquid acid, or we used to use like a buffer, right?
I actually used to use
Yeah.
acidulated
Yeah.
a lot.
This is Reinheitsgebot. So
Yeah.
like you're not adding anything other than natural ingredients to adjust.
Right. That makes sense.
But
Yeah, all my IPAs all
yeah.
had this in it.
And it's nice. Like we know at this scale, at a certain poundage, it's a half a bag per batch, and it like locks it in where we want it. Bigger beers, slow beers, you adjust a little bit, but it's around 900 pounds, 800 pounds, half a bag.
Right.
Gets you perfect.
Thank you. Love that one. So as Chris is working on milling, Jimmy's over here prepping the brew deck. What are you working on?
Start heating everything up
Yep.
so it's nice and ready for getting the right temperature.
What are we targeting today for the boil temp?
Gotta look at the brew sheet. I don't know. It's a new one.
Ah, right.
They're like little footballs.
Pause. You guys did a collab with Noble? With Frank?
Yes.
Man, he is...
That's another thing, man.
Bro, I
The
brewed...
guy's on fire right now.
Yeah.
In terms of hype.
Yeah.
So previously, before I was dealing with that collab, it's like, oh yeah, let's do a collab with Noble Savage, make something crazy. Other heads prevailed, and we brewed a grisette with them. You know, like a style super popular right now. Like, you know, I don't know. Let's not jump on his hype train. Let's do something nobody really wants or was looking for. But it came out nice. It's a good juxtaposition to a lot of shit we have on the board right now. And then he's coming here on the 19th. The end of the month. We're doing a big old IPA here. So, February 3rd, he'll be here. But yeah,
Frank's an interesting dude, man.
he is.
He's so neurotic, but in a good way.
Yes.
Like, he's so fucking passionate.
You know why? He's not jaded yet.
No, he's not.
He
He's
still
like
loves
so
it, and he's
good.
he's like, yeah, this is great. I'm gonna
like-
do shit the hard way.
Yeah. Bro, when we did our collab,
Give it a couple years, then brewed seltzers.
when we brewed a Nerd Girl with him, he was just, it was like the longest day I ever had brewing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, bro, you do this all the time?
Yeah.
This is insane. But he's making great stuff. So.
He is. Nah, he's meticulous. He's a great brewer. And you know what? He went through a lot to get open. So he's
my
like
God.
fucking determined. And I appreciate that, you know? I could commiserate with that. But yeah, he's got that hype train rolling now, man. Like, enjoy it.
He's got the heat miser
Yeah.
pumping his stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
So.
Big shout out to
Yeah,
Joe.
he just flew out to fucking San Diego.
Yeah, I saw it. That was crazy.
He's gonna brew in North Park. I'm like, I don't know who that is, man.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the hypest IPA brewer in the country. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
All right. Yeah, besides Troon, Cellar Maker.
I met the guys from Selling Maker last year, randomly.
Good
Jen
stuff.
and I went out to.
I was out last year in San Francisco and went over and visited. And
I met him in Park City.
oh shit!
So Jen and I were out there last winter. We went snowboarding, and his brand new brewery opened up right in Park City, called Offset. So like, the Utah laws are weird because like you can only brew up to 5% to serve in-house. Anything over 5% is to go only. So they only do like hazy pale ales. So I was talking to the guy, and we're there, and these guys show up. He's like, "Oh, my buddies just came in. We're doing a collab tomorrow. We're shooting shit." I'm like, "Oh, where are you guys from?" They're like, "Oh, Cellar Maker." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. I heard of you guys. I heard they have good pizza."
How's it taste, Steve? How's it taste?
Grainy.
Like dry cereal.
Yes. I remember when we did some of the beers with the beer maker, I tasted every single malt, the corn even.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get an idea. Not coming from a background where I was brewing beers every week, few and far between I get the taste.
Yeah, we're doing. So at the farm last year, we grew. Cornell came out with a new seed.
Let's go see what Jimmy's up to. All these
two-row
guys.
barley they call Excelsior Gold, so it was like crossbred to grow
Way over here.
in like the Hudson Valley.
Oh shit.
So like we were one of 5 farms. Ours didn't make it to the malt house. It was too high a protein content, so it just became feed. But a bunch of farms had success with it, so those bags are just starting to come out. So we're doing our farmhouse with that New York grain like next week. I'm intrigued. So we're planting it again in the spring. So hoping to get a usable crop this year, you know?
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Cornell's putting a lot of money into it because a lot of the other varieties that grow around the country aren't doing well in New York. So they've been working on this since like 2014.
Wow.
Also try and meet the demand. Like they're forcing it. We're at 60% now for farm, and it was supposed to go to 90 this year.
Yeah.
And they put a moratorium for like 3 or 4 more years. But like once it's 90, there's no support there. You know, like they're not. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. So they're like, we got to get more farmers growing usable crops. You know. There we go. So we'll see what happens, man.
Well, like you said, if this seed works,
Yeah.
and it'll be easier to get a better yield than.
Yeah. I think it's the consistency that's the problem these days.
Heat
you know,
exchanger.
like we've gotten some really
Run that
shit
hose.
New York malt.
All the way over.
Yeah, we had James Port on before the holidays hit, and yeah, man, they grow a lot of their own stuff.
Yeah.
I was
I
very,
think he's got. I think
I was very impressed.
what's his name? Anthony.
Yeah,
Yeah, I talked
Tony,
to him.
yeah.
Yeah, Tony. I talked to him. I think he said he's doing about 3 or 5 acres or something.
yeah.
And yeah, I don't know what he's growing, but he got some usable stuff out of there. It's just tough. Like the year before, we didn't plant anything, but everyone who had everything planted, and it's like a window of like 2 days where you need to harvest. So we had like for spring barley, it's April to July. So like April 15th, it's right around 4th of July, it's supposed to be ready. The whole month of July, out of 30 whatever days, it rained 27. So everyone lost their crop in 21. So then there's another shortage in 22 because all of the 21 crop was destroyed. That was upstate though. I mean, like, the nice thing about him out there, that's why all the vineyards like do well. It's supposed to be like the best climate. Boom. You know?
Now you growing any hops?
No. I don't want to get into that. That's a longer term project. You need more space, and if anything, I'm gonna do a small hedgerow just to make it look good. Anyone who's tried to grow them downstate has not had success. All the guys out east converted over to weed farms instead of hops. And the only
27A.
people, yeah.
Oh, what was it? 27 hop farm.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
had Route
Yeah,
27.
he had Rose the Rye bought hops from him. Next thing you know, he's a hemp farm.
Yeah.
He makes more money off the CBD stuff.
Yeah.
He probably does off the hop
Once
stuff.
again, like, real farmers need to grow crops that are gonna make money. You know, like, sure, cool. I'm growing New York hops. Who's buying them? What's the quality?
Yeah, everybody wants New Zealand, Australia, and obviously the big ones in Oregon.
Yeah. There's some good stuff coming out of New York though, like around Finger Lakes has a couple good hop farms. And there's the big one up on Lake Ontario, Chimney Bluffs, like right outside of Fulton. And we got some New York Cascade from them, and it's fucking good, man. Been mash hopping with that.
See, that's the only thing though. They can't grow any sexy hops.
I don't know.
Unless they come up with their own, like Cornell does some type of hop breed or...
They did, it's called Excelsior. We did an all New York IPA with it. It was pretty nice. But it still has that like wild hop flavor, not like locked in dialed like Simcoe or Citra or Mosaic. Like it still tastes, there's a wild aspect to it. Which I guess depending on what you're doing is cool, but
Do you think New York has the ability to get to that point? You think it's just time, or you don't think?
I think we do have the ability. I think the toughest part is like selling it to the farmers. Like you should grow this because it's better for the brewing industry and it's good for the economy. But when they can do corn in 100 days and get, like there's a commodities market for corn. They know they're getting a certain price for their corn.
Right.
As opposed to growing and maybe getting barley and growing and maybe getting hops and maybe selling that crop. It's a tough sell. Like we just had up at the CIA in Poughkeepsie, like in mid-December, like a malt barley summit for New York growers and suppliers and brewers and distillers. And that was like the biggest thing from the farmers. Like it's kind of scary committing, like you need a 200-acre farm and you're doing 50 of barley and hoping to make up the rest on everything else you're growing. Like no one's going, it's not like the Midwest where like we're doing 100,000 acres of barley.
Right.
It's a supplemental crop.
Right.
Yep.
That's kind of like a fun side project. It has, the farmers aren't sold on it.
It's volatile. They don't want to mess around with it.
You can't get crop insurance on
Especially
barley.
now. Yeah.
You get crop insurance on any other crop, can't get on barley.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's a tough sell.
Last bag going in.
That's all she wrote.
Nice.
So Steve, what was the? We went over the acidic malt. What about this one? Which one was that?
That was the oat malt. Oat malt instead of using
part
oat
oat.
flakes.
Okay.
Use the oat malt, get a little more protein out of it.
Protein body, head retention.
Yep.
What we want in a cream ale, pretty much.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't fuck up your mass as much as
Right.
as flakes.
Yeah. Honestly, knock on stainless. When we first commissioned this system, first beer we did was our wheat beer, our summer wheat beer, and it's a significant amount of wheat. It's 50% wheat. So I scale the recipe, and the guys here from the manufacturer, and I get this big bag of rice hulls. And he's like, "What are you doing with that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's half wheat. You don't need that." I'm like, "Dude." He goes, "Look, if we stick it, I'll get it unstuck. Don't put the rice hulls in." I'm like, "All right." And sure enough, it fucking ran. And like, the beer we brewed the other day, like, I don't know, 250 pounds of adjuncts ran fine. Like this thing just, I don't know. I'm not questioning it. It just sends it. We don't need to use, rice hulls or anything like that. Yeah, beer brewed on Thursday. It was like 150 pounds of flaked wheat, another 100 pounds of flaked oat, and it fucking ran, no problem.
That's awesome.
Usually there's a piece of corn.
Hey, little corn.
Send it in there.
Right in the middle of a churro bed.
Yeah. I shouldn't say anything. Watch, we'll stick it today. That's what happened with Frank when we brewed that grisette. It was like a 6-hour runoff.
When we did Nerdgo, basically old pills in the malt, bro. We weren't even boiling yet. We were like 6 hours in. I'm like, bro, I gotta go to work in the morning. I gotta go.
Yeah, that's I don't miss those days.
Nope.
I don't miss those days.
Not at all.
So what's the difference in Frank's process then?
Well, he's doing, he's got an old,
Yeah. Just,
no augers. He's just all by hand. It's,
Yeah, dumping in over time. What does he have? 2 or 3 barrel system?
yeah.
So a lot of those old systems they're taller and skinnier, so there's like more static pressure.
Yep.
They just don't run good. It's,
yeah.
Yep.
Oh God.
Yeah,
It's a lot more work is what it sounds like.
I
It
mean,
is.
you see anybody with those old Blickmans with the extender, nothing but problems.
Yeah.
Because the surface area, they try to do it tight and tall, just like Chris said, once you get that pressure down on it,
Yeah.
your runnings are terrible. You're gonna wish you didn't.
That's been like a hot topic lately is like tank geometry. I listened to some podcast and it was like Joe Grimm from Grimm, and he got all these custom-made conical fermenters that are squat but wide.
Yeah.
So they take up a lot more room, but like his school of thought is all the hazy yeast is some kind of offshoot strain of the Boddingtons, London 3 and then Conan and whatever. But like Boddington's in England has like these like stubby wide fermentation vessels, and that's why those ferment the way they do. So he got all his tanks made like in that geometry. Instead of the cone, like those cones are 60 degrees,
Yep.
his are like 45. It takes up more space, but he thinks he gets better fermentation profile, better ester production. Because once again, it's less static pressure on the yeast. All the yeast is packed into that cone eventually, and like he thinks it performs better.
Same thing. I went to Rushing River,
Right.
and they're all open vessel, but they're not wild. They're not doing it to get a wild strain in there. It's a clean room with an open vessel, and they feel that excess pressure of CO2 causes a different flavor because, again, pressure on top of the yeast.
All flavors escape freely.
Every vessel has no top to it. I was amazed. At it. And
wild,
they make great West Coast IPAs.
Yeah. Make clean beer.
Yeah.
Fermented openly.
Real clean.
Yeah.
It was funny watching one of the cellarmen go in there and he's fully cloaked, white, freaking
Yeah.
a legit clean room.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I love that stuff. It makes sense. Alright, now we're just heating up the mash tun. I'm gonna throw some calcium chloride in here just for a little better flocculation, but I'm not really treating it with anything else. Got a neutral Bayshore water profile.
That Bayshore water, delicious. That water,
That's that secret. That secret water.
nobody knows.
Yeah.
We adding any
100 grams calcium chloride.
that's it, right? We're using 05,
Yep.
12 pounds, 13,
Do
14,
do 14. It's a big boy.
68, 69.
Yep.
Oh, this is layover.
See what that is on there. This is right.
So yeah, we have
strike
to
volume 282.
have no name for this thing.
I figured we figured it out today. We were talking like Dolce de Amalfi or
Karate in the Barrage.
Karate in the Barrage. Dolce de Dubco. That was a working title. Let me just check the math on there.
You get hit for copyright, so try to stay a little further away from the no effect songs. Well, they won't hit you in the live stream. They'll hit you in the
when you-
production.
282.
Yep. And then it said Sparge 6.21.
The calculations that need to be
193.
had. So what are they figuring out right now?
193
Steve?
plus
Walk me through
282, right? For total. So 475.
475.
All right, so looking at volumes, he's going to get
Strike
figuring
10.
out what we're gonna get out of this.
13,
with the amount of
right?
grain that was used,
176.
Right.
amount of liquid that's
that.
in.
Oh, to that.
you
So
should get
165.
You have a certain ratio you're going to
Yeah.
get out of that. What we just did.
Yeah.
So he's looking to get so many barrels out of this.
Mash temp.
152.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
yeah.
So just doing the quick calculations of
Okay.
how much he wants to
And
pull
a
off.
lemon drop and sriracha.
First runnings of this.
We're going
Whirlpool.
at 35 minutes.
What does that do if they're pulling out?
No, going to Whirlpool for 35.
Well, you want
that's
to
Whirlpool.
because
Oh, they're both
we want
Whirlpool.
this to be
Oh,
about
that's about that. Okay.
8%. 8% cream ale.
And was it 1 pound
As we like to
srirachas?
call it,
'Cause that's all we
the
have.
pastry
John bought it.
cream ale.
Yeah.
The
One pound and 1,000
what do you call it?
pounds
The
of grain.
imperial pastry cream ale.
Sure. You got it. Use it.
Exactly.
Right on the borderline of imperial.
Yeah.
I should ask Paul something.
Either way,
shit,
and
I forgot.
Get that transferred
relative
over and ready
speaking
to
to a
mash
cream
in.
ale that
Yeah.
you
Well,
just look
usually
at.
cream ale,
Tennessee cream
yeah.
ale at 4.9.
I was just going to
That's
say,
it. You said
usually
Royal
cream
Flock
ales are in
15,
the
but
4
you know
range.
that.
Yeah.
We could have listened into their conversations. They're all wired up.
Okay.
So here's some of
Just
the
100 grams.
that we can do.
Hey, by the way,
I promise I'll keep the secrets as secret as possible.
Steve's
Hey,
a
feel,
douche,
bud?
you gotta know.
Can you believe we have Steve
He
here?
looks slim.
Such a dick.
What a dick. Let's see what we got going on here. So what did
You
you
guys skipped it.
walk me through that whole process of the milling into the
Oh,
the
so
grist? So
just
we had-
milled all the grains in the grist case.
Yep.
Up top.
Yeah.
Just heating up the mash tun right now to
I
get
saw
it up
Jimmy
to temp.
working on some stuff on the automated system.
Yep. So heating that up, you
Trying
want
to
to
catch
get
before you
pretty
got
much
here.
the
Can you give me a
temp
salad?
on the
Run the GSD.
on the steel, if you want to call it, on the stainless steel before you start milling in,
Right.
because then you'll get the temperature drop real fast if that's a
You're
cold
open
vessel.
it, you're going to throw the grain in there. It's going to take.
Well, you think
Ask
about
Greg
it, you
or
pour a hot
Mike.
liquid into a cold vessel,
Yeah.
you lose temperature
Right.
immediately. You don't want to do that. You want to
Find
try to
somebody
keep
in
that
that
temp
massive building and see.
that we're
Yeah.
looking
He'll
for,
go
which is like
around back.
154.
Pull around back.
I
and
asked
door
Jimmy
by the
before,
grain
and
silo.
I had to go check, but then I went back to you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
154.
It should be right around 154. And hold that for...
Now, is that a standard for the cream ale? Or is that,
Everybody's a little different on what they want to do.
Yeah.
We used to do a slightly lower, just like this, 150, 154. Some people do 156, 158, depending
Okay.
on what they're brewing, what they're looking to get out of it. Lower temperature, larger branch chains on your sugars, so you get better mouthfeel.
well, like I said,
higher
before,
temperature,
with the cream
smaller
ale, you
branch.
really do want it to have a little
You
more.
want that. You want that really nice mouthfeel, creamy. That's why we added oat malt. We're adding corn.
Yep.
Got a bag of corn up there to add head retention, mouthfeel. Jimmy running around.
20 miles per minute.
Get shit done.
Today it's at 69 degrees and it's working.
Yeah.
So even just like the temperature,
Yeah.
that was so fucking scary.
The transfer heat exchanger, right?
That's the heat exchanger for later.
Set this up to be pretty much
We gotta love Fridays. Gotta love
the ability
Fridays.
to transfer over, get the hoses run out.
Good.
What's not open here?
You bypass Wort Grant, so it's green. Yep. There you go.
That's where they keep the lobsters.
The lobsters.
They keep the lobster. How many lobsters do you think you can boil in this thing?
Be a lobster production facility.
I always thought that was a silly business model when they were lobster ale. We had it actually at Governor's. We had the lobster ale, and no one
What was
ordered
our
it because
total?
it was lobster ale.
441?
Everyone thought it was made with lobster.
Exactly. Nobody
Like,
wants
that's
that.
so silly.
I mean, there have been, like I know, I actually had it. Dogfish Head did a ale brewed with lobster and it was just the shell of it. But there's oyster
Like
stouts
the
that
saltiness,
actually
like
use
grittiness kind of feel.
that
Who
actually
did that?
use-
Stillwater did the surf and turf, and they used the lobster.
Oh, God.
When I was at GABF, and one of the offerings from Dogfish Head was a lobster ale, and he used the shells of the lobster in it.
Jimmy's a lobster man. I'm a lobster man.
Lobster.
You look like a lobster man today.
He does.
Where you coming from today, Worcester?
He just came off the boot. All right. You know, I do have to say, OSHA right now would be very happy. No shorts, pants over the boots, not tucked in the boots.
What's that old boot?
Very good, very good.
Excuse me, just one sec. Hello. Hey, what's up?
40-minute
just
mark.
about to
Cancel
mash
this conversation.
and we're
That was
all
fun.
mic'd up.
Yeah. For the minute mark,
That's
cancel
why I
this
had to do it all separately.
Yeah.
Cancel this.
Yep.
Yes, I know. I
and
left
like
the dildos out.
10.
I'm sorry.
I know, I left them out.
Can you call your dad?
Sorry.
and go through
I
the
know. I
numbers
still have the
with
butt plug in. So when I get home, I'll give it back to you.
It's the only thing that's keeping me sane right now.
him? We need to have an option to go to.
It was a long ride, but it was enjoyable.
Jimmy, walk me through what you're doing right
It's
now.
up to you.
Getting our little base water at the bottom here, and then start sending in all this grain.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing this
Kettle,
lab. and
our
live.
mash tun is all
It's not
nice
live,
and
but-
preheated.
Preheated, so make it a little easier reaching that temp.
Yeah.
Start spinning this in a little while, start boiling it so that gets real nice and hot for when we're sending it over.
Later today or tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah. Again, you want that vessel also, so you don't lose temperature from the
do a
mash
quick
tun to there,
talk,
because
yeah,
you want to
maybe
get
see what's
up
going
the boil
on
as
and
fast
then
as you
just
can.
use
Right.
that to segue into having a
That's
conversation.
the key to kind of
Later today
that.
or tomorrow.
It's for a shorter day, better
Yeah.
product, obviously, because you don't want your beer going over and just kind of sitting and waiting to boil.
I'll make myself.
And this is going to be
It's all about efficiency. And
It
trying
really
to get
is, really
the day
is.
moving. Especially when you have a
Time is money, baby.
two brew day that they're going to do. So you guys are doing a 2 brew day, double batch tomorrow?
Yeah,
Or-
20 barrel of our layover lager,
Okay.
which is like
Layover.
our best-selling beer right now.
Yeah,
Lagers,
lager.
baby. We got 20 barrels of that, another 10 barrel of that. We just did 20 barrels of our Italian Pilsner. If you just force it down people's throats long enough, they'll just start drinking.
You find it
Get rid of these
everywhere you
fucking
go.
IPAs and
Well, let me tell you, I was at
Total
the
is
Village
475.
Lantern, and I drank fucking Pilsners and German food, and it was wonderful.
yeah.
It was wonderful.
I
place
had
is
the
the best.
Yeah, that's right.
The
you had
Dunkel.
The Dunkel.
Love a dunkel.
It's 475 as a total, so we'll have to
I
start
had to laugh though.
topping that off.
Diana's like, oh my God, I'm only having 2 beers today. She's like, all right, good. And I ordered a liter. She's like, so I only said 2.
Yeah, 2. Didn't say
Pretty close.
how much.
The size
or
of
the-
them,
the
or-
fluid ounces.
Yeah.
All right.
Did not. Could be 2 liters. It was delicious, by the way.
It was
Oh,
very good.
God.
And the food was fantastic.
I had the schnitzel.
That's what I had.
Oh, so good.
Oh no, I had the Reuben Schnitzel.
Yeah, the Reuben schnitzel. I had pork schnitzel. Oh, so
We were
good.
just talking to somebody about Village Lantern last night. That's weird,
Wow, that place
so
is so
good.
good.
right?
Great beer selection. And they actually do have an IPA on.
Yeah. Go up there. Work on the work. Need like a steady can. That's what I need.
And we're sending the grain in.
There you go.
It's a cool little tornado effect. It's the mash hydrator. So the grain's falling into here. The water's creating like a little Venturi effect and
hydrating all the grain as it's falling in. So it's not dry grain hitting wet, the water. It's
pulling
hydrated
in
before
too,
it goes
right?
in.
Like drawing it down by doing that as well.
Yep.
No floaters.
You're locked in right at 165. Beauty. Love it when a plan works out, right?
Yeah. You liking your automated system? This is
It has its advantages and disadvantages, but we worked around a lot of the disadvantages.
yeah.
Um,
How long have you had that installed? Since day one, or have you?
no, this guy we put in here in 2018.
Okay. So yeah, you've
So I mean,
grown to love it.
we've made a lot of beer. We kind of worked through a lot of kinks and stuff. Because all the valves are automated, and it's all hard line. So like, if you want to send something somewhere it's not supposed to go, you have to figure out a workaround.
Almost.
Thanks, Bill.
For the 2 shots. Now, filled to capacity, how long does it usually take for all the grain to fall in?
Half an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's
So we're doing like, this thing's happy place is flowing in at 16 gallons a minute.
okay.
We're doing just under 500 gallons.
All right.
And I like to make sure all the grain's in. That's the thing. Like, the grain it's gravity fed, right? So the grain has to be dropping at the perfect speed to hit the water at that perfect flow rate of 16. So there's not too much water or too much grain.
Right.
I'd rather have all the grain in and have to add a little more water than run out of water and there's still grain going in and then it's like dry and chunky. And once again, that's just like knowing this thing's ins and outs in particular is a sweet spot. And that changes with different grain too. Like, we'll have some batches of barley that are more absorbent than others. So you're like, oh man, this is like weird. It's super dry, but the math is the math. It's 1.25 gallon.
That absorption rate on some of this? Do you know that?
Yeah, the
going
absorption
into it?
rate is different on all the grain.
Right.
But
like, you have a map to that, like knowing that, okay, this raw malt that you're going to be using is.
yeah, for the most part, like, it's the numbers we were crunching over there. You know, like, for this system, we do 1.25 quarts of water per pound of grain, and that extrapolates to,
the right amount.
Our strike volume, and then that's how we get, like, our efficiencies and volumes when we're in the kettle. The 10-barrel system, but like our boil line's 11.8 barrels. Then there's loss to the transfer to the fermenter. And after the fermentation, there's loss. So we end up with just about 10 barrels on a 10-barrel batch, which is nice. We try and squeeze every drop out we can.
So as a collaborator, this is pretty much what you're.
This is what I do. Stand around and watch.
Yeah, that's nice.
Talk about things.
The,
I'll throw hops in. And corn. I'll throw corn in.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the corn. You've been saying that.
So excited about the corn.
But honestly, that's like the best part about the collaboration is like the back and forth trying to figure out the recipe and where we're going and what we want.
And you guys communicated. I mean, this is something I'll probably talk about, but.
Well,
prior to this and knowing what you were doing?
This idea I had back from 2019 and never got the chance to actually brew it myself. And I had brought it up. John, who was the brewer here for a while, we had talked about it. He has since left and gone to other things. And but Chris was still on board, wanted to still do this collaboration. So we spoke back and forth about what we were looking to get out of it, what the profile was going to be. Sent the recipe back and forth on grain bill, and we were, I mean, pretty much right from the beginning. The ideas were basically the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, this beer will be a little bit of a mind fuck for people.
It's a fun one. It's a fun one. It's a good concept. All right. You want to do your thing? Throw some corn in there, buddy?
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna throw
Corn
some
time.
corn in.
Corn in, corn out.
I like corn because, you know, it sticks around for a few days. You'll see it again soon.
It's funny. Steve was breaking my balls on the interwebs one day. I guess I had posted a picture of me mashing in. And of course he goes, your rake's going backwards, bro. And I'm like, yeah, you know, like when I throw adjuncts in, I like to reverse, you know, the flow of the rakes when you're spinning it, because it kind of like pulls it back into the stream of water a little bit. I feel like you get a better mix on it.
So he just did that to me.
Yeah. So I just,
And
I told him I like to go both ways sometimes.
Yeah, that's it.
You go forward, reverse.
And not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Kern.
And there we go. Some nice kern. Yeah, see how like the plow pushes the corn back under where the grain's falling? And I feel like it breaks up like whatever. It's like corn. Yeah, it breaks the chunky boys. Here, make yourself useful and throw that in there too.
Oh, wait.
Oh, good. You're killing it today, Steve.
That was a
You're
pro.
killing it.
That was
You're
pro
killing it.
right there. Takes years of knowledge and
Well, yeah,
all
that's
sorts
why,
of
you know,
things.
you're my guru. You're my guru.
You don't even have to put your own stuff back away.
Nah, we got a guy for that.
Yeah.
That guy. The guy that does that.
Yeah.
So, are you going to look to hire someone? Or are you going to just keep moving Jimmy up the ranks and get a little...
He's doing good. So, we'll see. We got it for now, and then like maybe, and it gets a little busier in
Well,
like
only
March,
because
April,
for
May.
you having to,
Yeah,
you know.
it's a lot.
Yeah, especially, you know, wife, kids, another facility up, you know, where you're living. You know.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, you could always put a cot here and just...
I've slept here many a time.
Well, that's for a different reason.
True.
When you don't know your own name and what day it is.
It's called Be Responsible, Steve.
Yes, yes.
It's a pretty comfy couch, I gotta say.
You have a couch.
Yeah,
Grain bags are very, very nice too.
I heard. We could ask Joe. Joe slept here 1 or 2 nights on the grain bags.
Joe slept many places on grain bags. That's savage.
Actually, I meant to call him. He hasn't made his way around here in a little bit. I was gonna check on him. It's been a couple weeks since I've seen him.
He was at GSB at the Nightmare release.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you seen Joe? I feel like we haven't seen him in weeks.
Nah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
He's doing dog stuff, you know?
Yeah.
He actually watched my dog.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
went away for a few days and he
Yeah.
came and took care of the pup.
He loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking about, like, I don't know. Face to Face came on my playlist on the way down here this morning. I'm like, I know it's like Joe's favorite band. I'm like, I should call and check on Joe. It's been a couple weeks.
Disconnected?
Yeah,
It's usually the one that plays.
yeah. Said you gotta wake up at 5 in the morning, right?
You need something to get you down here.
Coffee only
weeks
gets you so far.
How
Two weeks
lo-
I'm going up to Syracuse.
how long does it take you to
when
get
I need
down?
that.
Less than 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
I
not
did
too
an hour 45
Especially in
today.
the early morning, yeah.
I was thinking to myself
Today's
too.
a
like,
holiday, so
yeah.
way
I
less
didn't
traffic.
dawn on me it was a holiday because like I know where it always slows down, and I just fucking flew right through everywhere, and I was like,
Oh my God.
I'm looking at the time.
what
I'm
day
like,
is
what
this?
day is this? Yeah, is it Sunday?
Sunday? What the hell?
Yeah.
Did I fuck up again?
I would have came in and brewed if it was Sunday anyway, Steve. If I showed up and no one was here, it's got to get shit done, bro.
Already down here, might as well.
Yeah. A lot of grain. It's gonna be a big old beer. I'm glad we went this route. Because, you know, we come from the same school of thought, you know, like, less is more, nah, fuck that, more is more.
Nah, I want people to go, oh, wow, this is a really light beer. It tastes great. And then 2 beers in, they're like, hey, what am I all fucked up for?
What's the biggest beer you ever did?
That was Death Dealer. That was 14.3, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. That was like a 3-hour boil, barley wine, with added malt extract on top of it.
Yeah.
And it was,
What was the style?
it was barley wine.
Oh, the barley wine. Sorry, you said that.
Yeah, that was a big boy.
Bottled that, 750s?
We only had it in kegs, and we actually had 1 keg for 2 years we kept, and then we released it at one of the anniversary parties.
Yeah.
And we had like a vertical of 4 of them for like different years. And
Did it hold up?
yeah, it was fucking delicious. It was more on the sweeter end. It was more of an American style than English style, which is kind of drier, but still high ABV. So I see Blue Point they put something out there and they were like, hey, we're gonna go revisit one of our beers we haven't done in a long time. Can you guess which it is? And I'm like, ESB. Everybody was like, you fuck, who the fuck told you? I'm like, I guess I got it right.
I knew you were gonna say the
Oh,
art of
Paladin.
science, or it's a sure thing too.
Oh.
Bringing back all the seltzers.
No, I'm not bitter at all. It's all right. It's all right.
No.
Or a rainbow cookie stout. You got one better though. So obviously we had the rainbow cookie stout, and over the summer we did a collab with Wild East from Brooklyn. Make amazing lagers, super in-depth process, double decoction, step mash. They're into it. And we've been talking for over a year. We want to do like an Italian Pilsner. They had never done one. We had never done one. We both love like Lupulo and Pivo Pils. We finally brewed it over the summer, and we're trying to rack our brains on what to call it. All things Italian. So we came up with Gavone. So big hit, great beer. We just brewed it again, and lo and behold, we see another brewery, Bridge and Tunnel. They came out with a rainbow cookie stout called the Big Gavone. I'm like, man, you're just getting us some both shots. But there's only so many clever things and clever names.
Yes.
I don't get bent out of shape about that anymore.
Yeah, and if it's something that is a saying or whatever that it's already been taken.
Yeah.
You know this.
It was supposed to be called Gabagool, and then San City did Gabagool Pale Ale.
Yep.
And I swear this place is Mike. I mean, like right now it is.
right.
But
for truth.
Yeah, so this beer is going to be called Your Mother's a Whore. See who picks that one up.
5 new breweries coming out with the Mother's of Wort.
Your mother's a whore.
we've thought about that, like writing fake names and seeing if they pop up. No one's supposed to be back here except the guys, but we have our little name board.
Somebody has hacked into the cameras.
Called like call letters, like Elon Musk's kids.
So we're doing a 4-hour boil today, Steve?
What?
4-hour boil?
Yeah, we're looking for what, 11, 12%?
Squeeze every inch.
That's what she said.
Yeah. And I was surprised that name didn't come out as sooner than it did. That's what she said. There had to be a million people that would have thought of that. Nope.
I mean, look, we're all chubby, middle-aged guys who drink beer. We all watch the same movies.
Right.
We're into the same shit. We're going to come up with the same names.
It's okay. Don't be sad.
I just watched them close the bay door.
And all that, it
on
looks
that
like it's
truck.
flurrying
Just
like
watched it
crazy.
happen.
Yeah.
And now it's fucking stuck on there.
Look at him. He's looking up at
We
it.
want to get her all
Just
in
trying to,
there
like,
as quick as we
it
can,
up.
mixed up nice as we can, so we get that
there you
temperature
go.
gradient we're
All
looking
right.
for. We're looking for
Now it's
152 today,
Get
which
the
is
fuck
like
out of there.
the average mash temp to get to what the
Literally just
ABV we're
watched
looking
it happen.
for.
That's awesome.
We're actually right at 151.5, which makes me happy when we're that close
It
already.
has like a little bed
That's
in
what
the
I'm
back.
looking. It does. Oh, that's what it was.
Get a nice conversion rate out of this.
That's nice.
Why you have the kettle open is it's losing heat, obviously. So how are you reintroducing heat?
So
as it
like
goes?
we want
That's a
152
good
Yeah.
for the mash temp. We're going in at 165. There's 13-degree temperature differential this time
You're
of year.
accounting for the drop.
You're accounting for the drop in temperature, the ambient temperature, the grain, like
Yeah.
it's 50-something degrees in here. In the summer, it goes down to like 9 degrees when it's hot. The grain's hotter.
Right.
You need,
Well, I'm starting to feel it over here. The weight and the pressure coming out.
We got a barrel left to go. She's Butte Clark. Jim, you want to pull out the yeast and degas it, please?
Yep.
Pull out your yeast.
Yeah, we're just going straight 05 on this. Nice, clean, neutral. Unless we want to do a hazy pastry cream ale.
Hey. You even make the noise.
So Steve, why dry January? Why you do it every year? This year? What do you?
Yeah, because I get out of hand between Thanksgiving and New Year's.
So when I picked today,
I
I
get
didn't
out
realize
of
it was a
control.
holiday.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
That's why I'm like, well, Mike was like, oh, he's off. I'm like, I should be off. So yeah, that works.
Courtney's off. Stuck at home with Grayson. Yeah. Call that a win.
You told her, you said you had to be here today.
Of course. Yeah.
It just seems fitting, like we do collabs on Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah.
And I was hanging out with Kyle on Saturday, and I brought up our last Martin Luther King Day collaboration.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that story, and then you could edit it out.
That one.
All right, 282. We are all in, and we are exactly 152 degrees in the mash tun.
Perfect. Hi. For me? That's what I always wanted. Thanks.
What's going on?
Thanks, Paul.
Go done.
Where'd you get this from? Nice.
All right.
How you feeling?
Did you get it posted, sir?
Now we got some 45 minutes.
All right. We'll get back to the next step in the process in a little bit.
This is Ghost Radio, and you're getting drunk with Mike and Pete on the Wort.
Oh, couldn't do a smiley face.
Rarely ever get the smiley face. I feel like
It always falls out.
I feel like I'm not a good wort wrangler if I don't get the smiley face.
You're not a good wart wrangler, sorry. You can do it now. See if we can make the smiley face.
Oh, there
Nope.
it is. Oh,
He's got the rakes going.
He's got the. So we are graining out everything
You see the
boiled out.
You see the line of corn.
Corn, yeah. Now is that settling? Is that like just its gravity to where it sits in the thing, or just so happened to be that way?
where we put it in.
Because we added. Oh, when you put some was on top and on bottom. Yeah, I guess you're right. It pretty much fills the whole thing with grain, right? Pretty much the whole thing was filled from start to finish.
Yeah, it's about 900 something pounds.
Jesus Christ!
I get like 13 and change in here.
So you said you have a company that comes, grabs the spent grain.
Yeah, this guy's got a farm up somewhere in Wisconsin, Mount Sinai, somewhere up there in wild north. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Now,
yeah,
they give it off to animals and stuff like that, or
yeah, he's got pigs and chickens.
Yeah.
They actually he sells the pork. He's brought us like ham steaks and bacon and shit.
Nice.
Yeah. And then we got the pig for the pig roast. But he like fell off over the summer. I don't know if he got busy. And it sucks. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, it hasn't been that cold, but like days where it's fucking 10 degrees out, like there's a guy at the door with the button. Like, guy fills up the grain, shoots out, he closes the door real quick, and he honks the horn, opens the door, because it gets fucking cold in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we're not giving it to the farmer, it just goes in the dumpster.
Yeah.
Rather see it go somewhere else other than a landfill, but honestly,
I mean,
all you're really doing is like making compost and it goes in the
that's
fucking
it.
landfill. It's not
Oh,
like...
that's like guys over at Jamesport. They use it not only for feed, but they'll use it in compost. And
Yeah.
It'll retain water. You can use it in potting.
Oh, because it's
sitting at the
hot and
bottom of
wet,
the
it'll
pot.
fucking start
Oh, yeah.
deteriorating real quick.
Yeah. Start fermenting.
Uh-huh. Did you know when they distill that they like boil the fucking grain too and like add yeast to the mash?
Really?
Yeah. We went to the place in the city last week, Great Jones.
Oh, Great Jones, yeah.
And we did the distillery tour, which is super cool, except they don't distill in Manhattan. They say they do, but
No.
if you look at the bottles, distilled and bottled in Warwick, New York. So I was like,
figure.
oh, what is this all about?
And what block are you on?
I know exactly where they are. It's Black Dirt Distillery. But they said they were contract distilling there, and it made sense to just buy the distillery. So they bought that distillery, and that's where they make everything.
Holy shit.
Yep.
There's a bunch of places that do things like that, as we've come to know.
The place is
not an uncommon
beautiful.
practice.
If you're ever in that neighborhood, you gotta go.
Oh, Great Jones?
Yeah.
Where is it located?
On Great Jones Street. It's like kind of by the Flatiron Building.
I was down Tribeca. Went to a place called the Brandy Library.
Nice.
Oh my God.
You like your brandy?
Well, the thing is, it's every spirit you can think of. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bottles on the wall, all around the whole room. Fantastic. Rare shit that you don't find.
Can't see.
That is cool. Yeah, we went
And
to
right at the end of the block,
Yeah.
right on the corner, is the Ghostbuster building.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
The old
The
firehouse?
old firehouse.
we all went into professional bull riding at the Garden,
Oh, jeez.
and then we went to Great Jones. It was fun. It was a good day. Those fucking bull riders are nuts.
Well, I guess when you live upstate, you got to get into that now.
Oh
Bull
yeah,
riding
I didn't go full cowboy yet.
You got
ATV?
The boot,
You
got
got
the
an
boot,
ATV yet?
got the boot yet?
Yeah. We
Gotta
have
have one of those.
gotta have a side by side.
It's funny, like the city and all of its glory, every like 5 blocks it's a brand new town. It's a brand new place that has their own little hidden gems and places the locals go and a story behind it or whatever it is. There's
We
just
went
so
to
much.
McSorley's. That was my first time going to
Oh,
McSorley's.
I love
Really?
McSorley's.
We closed it down, man.
Light or dark? Light or dark?
Darks all night.
Yeah, darks all night.
We
of course.
fucking closed
Nice.
it down. That's awesome.
We did the math. Like we were only there for 2 hours. Bill, how many darks did we have at McSorley's?
Oh yeah. I mean, what they're like 6 to 8 ounces.
Yeah, like 8 ounces.
But still, yeah, that's putting a hurt on.
Yeah. You know, great idea at fucking midnight.
Did you end up finding a table? Dude, that's the
Yeah,
hardest
we
thing.
walked
You gotta
right
get-
in, and there were 5 of us.
Yeah.
We got a fucking table right away. And
Nice.
the
Dude,
guy
that's
thought
hardest
the guy
part.
thought he knew Bill. He's like, "Oh, how you doing, man?"
Bill's like, yeah, hey.
Yeah, I'm good.
And we're like, "Oh yeah,
Let's start
we're-
with $6.
We'll take 5." He's like, "You're getting 12." Like, all right. He just kept bringing rounds of 12 over.
Yeah.
You're getting 12. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good old McSorley's.
That's why I enjoy it there. It's very simple. You don't have to know a lot.
Dark or light? What
Light
do
or
you
dark.
fucking want? Sit down, shut up.
Sit down and shut up. All right. Have fun. We'll keep shoveling your way.
We'll keep fucking pouring them for you.
At the end of the night, you owe us $62. That's it.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I think
Now, where
I
did
think it was
they
like
brew?
$200.
Yeah, it's like nothing.
And we drank heavily for 2 hours with 5 people. All right.
Do they brew on premise? No. Where do they brew?
Bill was working at GSB. They were brewing at GSB.
Really?
Get out of here.
I think he's. Bill, where are they brewing McSorley's now? Where did we say? Yeah, PBR is making it in
Oh,
Wisconsin.
shit.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they probably had to go to a bigger facility. GSB was doing it. That's crazy.
They were brewing all sorts of weird shit for
Yeah,
a
no
while.
kidding.
Hell's Seltzer.
Yeah, Hell's Seltzer.
That went absolutely nowhere.
Is it still there?
No.
They shipped it out.
Oh, they have all the equipment and everything, but they don't produce it anymore. It kind of ended its run.
yeah.
Because it was terrible.
Now that obviously
It was
is not
not
their
a good
recipe.
sell.
Or
No, it
anything.
was not. They
Just
got
just
it.
doing it.
They were told how to produce it.
Yep.
and-
They bought that huge amount of equipment. I remember
Yeah.
them telling us about it. Oh God.
Yeah.
Now they own that equipment,
Yeah.
so that was kind of like
That was part
an
of
investment.
That was part of the
deal?
Hey, charge this much
Right.
for us to do it. Took the money, spent $1 million on the
Equipment.
what you call it, the homogenizer,
Oh yeah, that's right. They're watching it.
all the the double freaking canner.
Must be nice to have money.
Yeah.
Have 3 canning lines.
Yep.
And have a brewery next door that can handle smaller stuff if you needed to.
Yeah.
Partnership.
Yeah.
Well, the crazy-
Paul's doing most of the contract brewing now.
Yeah.
The crazy part of it though was they weren't like brewing the liquid. They weren't. They were getting it shipped in by truck.
Right. Yeah.
Being
Yeah.
made in Pennsylvania,
It just sounds crazy.
and it would get
go through
pumped
all
into
that.
the fucking tanks.
So what's
Then
that?
they-
That's a double contract?
And then they would just freaking put flavors in.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow, man. Yeah, Paul's doing most of the contract brews there now at Ghost. Because it's smaller scale, 15
Yeah.
barrels.
Keeps them busy.
But they lost, their big thing was that all those 12% beers, and then 12% opened their own contract facility, and
Yep.
that was that.
Yep.
So we had Marlowe on, and we talked to, I forget his name, guy from 12%. I haven't been up there. Have you been up there?
It's supposed to
12%
be
facility?
like a state-of-the-art facility, though.
So they opened it right before COVID, and then I heard things like scary things about what was going to happen if they couldn't survive through it, but they were doing drive-throughs. They were getting...
Well, that facility's tremendous. They were hoping to have that tasting room would have every beer that's brewed there on tap.
Right.
And COVID hit.
But yeah, then like Root and Branch finally opened their own spot, so they stopped brewing Root and Branch.
Yep.
Billy's brewing every Nightmare beer at GSB now.
Yep.
The shitter's full.
So who's in there now? Who's...
Well, I think
Marlowe?
Barreled Souls is still in there.
Okay.
Trying to think who else.
I always see them posting that they, it looks like it's mostly sours, but it's like Stargazer or Skygazer or something like that.
Yes, correct. Fat Orange Cat still there?
Yes, they're still there.
I'm going off of what from Mark from Hopscotch
Oh, okay.
puts out because he does get a lot, 12% there.
Yeah, they approached us about contract pricing and distribution and shit. I'm like, yeah, you know, where the money really starts is like, you know, around 100 barrels. I'm like, who the fuck are you selling 100 barrels of one beer to?
Yeah, unless you're selling it across the United States.
100 barrel batches. Like, that game's over, man.
You're Brooklyn, you're...
Yeah, if you were a regional brewery.
Right.
Blue Point could do it, but they don't need to because they have their own facility.
Yeah, so what you smelt was he was taking Dubco IPA.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, because
Oh,
I
that
walked
was
over
the
it, I was like,
taking up some Dubco IPA over here.
It's like, oh yeah, it smelled delish. Yeah, if you walk over by it,
It's coming right off the thing.
well, because the actual
Oh, I can feel it right there.
when you pull you pull the cup off the. You smell it as you get closer.
Yeah, as soon as you get close, forget it.
You're doing it easy.
Get the whip hit.
Get a quick hit of CO2 spike IPA.
Actually, that'd be it. Could you capture that smell for the candle? It'd be a great smelling.
Many of company have tried,
Think so?
and it really has.
Just the essence of hop. Little movie life going on in the background. Steve's lending a helping hand.
I'm done.
See, Steve, I saved the easy part for you.
Yeah.
This is the most integral part right here. Getting the last.
Govs Radio. This is the Wort on Govs Radio.
Did you get any of that, the tooth beer from Billy?
No, he did.
I tasted some. It was good. The tooth. What they did was, they put it was a wax top, and then they put the tooth in the wax.
Yeah, nah, it's awesome.
But it was real cadaver teeth.
I know.
And he's looking at me like,
He's fucking
He's like,
nuts.
bro, I did some real shit. I go, yeah, I know.
He's fucking nuts.
He's a madman.
Tell you, the release was packed.
That's what I heard.
Good turnout, standing room only. I was just telling Steve we had to go out into the brew area because there was so many people inside the tasting room.
That's fucking awesome.
Great turnout, yeah. And Paulie did a collab with 18th Ward.
I've been meaning to try that too.
Yeah, I was there. Went for a show at Brooklyn Steel a few months back. It's a cool little spot right by the venue.
Yeah.
And the beer was delicious. I had like a red IPA that they did. I was amazed.
Nice.
So their collab was a black IPA, which is one of my favorite styles.
Black cold IPA.
Yeah, black cold IPA.
Which I want to try that, and then Larry and Sekatog just did a black cold IPA.
Oh, did he?
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
look at that
he
now,
came to me
too.
one day, he's like, let's make a black cold IPA. I'm like, I just made my regular black IPA.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to do it to somebody else. I'm like, all right.
Okay.
Which, well, I'm still going to say, Eleanor is one of my favorite beers
Thank you.
of all time. I fucking love
That is still to this day my favorite beer.
I love it.
That I make.
I think over COVID, when you released it, I bought an entire case. I said, I don't know when
And
this is ever
that's
going to
one
come
that was
back.
like super popular.
Yep.
And then fell off. No one wanted a black IPA, and now it's back.
Now it's
again.
coming back again, yeah.
Love Illinois.
Everyone's trying to get me to rebrew Dominic, the white
Really?
IPA.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one because if you call it a white IPA, nobody will buy it.
Yeah.
But if you just call it an IPA, you'll be like, "It's delicious! I'm drinking it all."
Call it hoppy wit beer.
All of the beers.
Or is it racist to have a white IPA and a black IPA?
Wow. Yeah, but you know, it's like ebony and ivory. They go together.
Yeah.
The yin and the yang.
It's like the black and white cookie.
I was thinking that.
It's like the black and white cookie.
What was the other black IPA I just had that was also delicious?
Didn't I give you? That was the black lager.
No, I might have had it at either Source or ABC. AEB. Alternate ending. I think I had it there. It was good. It was definitely a Jersey beer because I drank it all that night. I drank all 4 of them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward towards that Knuckle Puck Real Friends show. I'm okay. He's March.
Yeah, so not my favorites. I mean, I like them, but
I've
it's not.
I've been listening to a lot of Real Friends more and more. The lead singer's just got that raspy-ish.
Yeah, I get that.
You forgot something.
Oh no,
You need this thing?
it's just a handle. That's all it is. I swear, if you leave it out, your next batch of beer will come out beautiful,
Oh yeah.
chunky and everything.
The granola.
Granola. There you go, granola beer. I mean, your heat exchanger will not be happy, but
One of the first batches I brewed from when I came back, I went to hit Whirlpool, and I hit Kettle CIP. So I sent all the
right
fucking troop through the spray ball. I was like, you asshole. The button said Kettle something. Fuck. Yeah, that was...
Best enjoyed in can.
no, that's what you. Let's take the ball off, try to unpack it. Yeah, I know that feeling.
Same old story.
Just, another tale of joy.
So you wanted to own a brewery? Yes, I did. Keyword being did.
I love brewing.
Well, that's the thing. I hated everything else, but a brew day, I felt so good after a brew day. I would rather have done that than anything else.
Exactly.
Just brew and then leave.
Just brew, just the whole process. It's soothing. Even if it's a bad day, it's soothing. It's everything else that goes along with it. It sucks ass.
Yeah.
Paperwork.
How's it looking? Get up there, Stevie. Take a look, skis.
Smells corny.
Little firm cap.
Little firm cap. Between the oats and the corn, we're gonna get.
Firm cap. Keep
Some
it
nice
from
foam.
fucking blowing up in your face.
Yeah. We don't want any eruptions today.
No.
That's the other thing. Next brewery is getting steam.
Man, you'd be boiling already.
Oh yeah. This actually ran fucking quick today. We were all in an hour.
Oh, that's good.
That big beer I did the other day where it was like 200 pounds of flake shit. It was a 2 hour and 15 minute runoff. But it was boiling by the time I was all in.
There's actually nothing worse as you're still trying to
And
lauder
it's
over
boiling?
and you're boiling already.
Yeah. You're like, should I turn it off or just fucking roll?
Do I keep it, let it roll, or do I just fucking hold off? Back it down to like 200.
Hazy,
No, you're
imperial,
brewing,
pastry, cream ale.
you're brewing a creamy.
Yeah, we're making it extra creamy.
Making
just,
it
just how you like it, extra creamy.
Extra creamy. We're brewing a creamy. So
So what do we have for time for this boil?
Should be boiling in about 10 minutes, and then we got an hour boil.
About an
I
hour.
didn't even realize you were putting sriracha ace in. That's awesome.
There's the one thing I left. For some reason, he wanted 1 pound of that.
It's actually because it does add that lemony grass
Yeah.
flavor. And
We
it's
we had it.
It's so fucking potent too.
We had it. We're doing it.
Do it.
We did our Brew Science, at 11-12% triple IPA. And I literally just like every open bag of hops I had in the fucking
Put it in.
whirlpool, right in the whirlpool. And Jimmy's like, so what do I put on a label? I'm like, just put the dry hop in there. And there was like 7 different hops in the whirlpool. I'm like, why do we have like 2 pounds of this and 1 pound of that? I could throw it in.
Get rid of it. Oh yeah.
We did beer?
Hour boil or?
Hour. Yeah, we did 2 row, so I'll just do an hour.
Yeah.
Everything, we do Pilsner, we do 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, I think having that condensate stack draws the vapor. I feel like I draw all those volatiles off quicker with that than just a regular stack. When you turn it on, it like sucks the fucking steam out. So, a little taster before we get going here.
Go for it.
You want, what do you guys want?
I don't even think I finished my other one.
What do you mean? All the beer?
He's got
My
the
other
right
beer.
idea.
Yeah.
Hey, isn't that his nickname, Jimmy Fullpaw?
Now we call him the dumpster.
Pour anything in it.
We do have Eleanor on tap.
There you go.
What's up? Can I have a dark and mild, please? Regular guy's good. Yeah.
And after all this talk about Eleanor, it's got to be.
Yeah, he'll take an Eleanor.
Yes, I will.
Hope it doesn't kick. It's close.
Oh,
If you get the last pour, you'd be happy,
I'd
right?
be so happy.
Oh, he'd be ecstatic.
You don't have any in can right now, do you? No, you're out.
That one goes quick. We pulled back on a lot of cans, man.
Thank you, sir.
Like we were doing 80 cases, we're doing like 50.
Okay. For now.
Yeah, they're just all the beer distributors slow. So it sells mostly out of here.
Which you'd
I-
rather have that way anyway.
Yeah.
This is Ghost Radio, and you're getting drunk with Mike and Pete on the Wort.
This is the Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve, GhostRadio.com, live here at Dubco Brewing Company in the heart of Bayshore. This isn't the heart, though, but it's your heart.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Okay.
It's close enough to the heart there where you could have a heart attack.
The laundromat and the Cisco distributor, and but either way, it is beautiful in here. And we had just wrapped up a little bit of a brew day here. So thoughts on the process, Steve and Chris? What did we think? How'd everything go?
We got
Give
it-
us the
we got it done.
post game wrap up here.
We got it done. It's
You
gonna
got it
be
done.
beer.
It's boiling right now,
Yeah.
so yeah,
We're gonna sit on that for about an hour,
Halfway
right?
through.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
You know.
It's looking nice.
What are
You
the
guys are
variables
smiling upon
from
us.
here? Like once we get everything in the boil, where are the place? I hate to put this out there, but where's the places that things could go wrong? Is it about the
Fucking guy.
I know. I'm sorry.
Seriously.
Is it the yeast
Fucking
pitch?
guy.
Is it the hop addition? Like traditionally, in past history.
Something could go wrong anywhere,
And
at
it-
any time.
Right now, it could be going wrong.
Yeah.
and
Oh Jesus! Come on.
Yeah, we're in here, so
Yeah,
we're
yeah, right, right.
We have no clue.
Well,
out of sight, out of mind.
I there's a lot. You don't want to think about that. Right
No,
now,
we
right?
feel confident in our process.
Yes.
Of course. I
And
mean, you
nothing
guys, you
is
are a
gonna go
well-oiled
wrong.
machine, Chris. So let me tell you, as people were watching in and we were documenting all the steps of the process, well-oiled machine, yes, exactly. Nice and loose and limber. You're in there with the grain, pulling the grain out.
You know, we were
Nice and lubed up.
Oh, there you go.
There it
That's
is.
what we were
Oh,
hoping to
God,
hear.
Jesus.
We're all lubed up and ready to go,
I
guys.
saw you pouring the cream in there. I understand what was going on.
Hey, who's done?
Don't give away the process.
Yeah.
Doing stuff.
Well, we didn't say what it was. It was a blank container of stuff.
No, that was the well semen. That's
Yeah.
it's a fining that we use now.
That was
It's new.
always Steve's distinct flavor.
Yes.
My heart is still in Italy. There you go. Yes. I want to kind of get you a gauge. So we're aiming for 8, not gauge like wire gauge. We're aiming for 8%, maybe a touch higher.
Yep.
At what point do we know that is exactly where you were trying to hit? When do you know your marks?
Most of our ales ferment out within 7 to 10 days, so
Okay.
we'll know by next week.
All right.
And,
now, do you communicate that back to Steve at this point and say, we're hitting our marks? And
Yeah, we'll keep in touch, and I'll let them know how it's going. That's how we usually do it.
Yeah.
At previous collabs, and I like to keep apprised of the situation.
And
Still,
then when we have to add those adjuncts, that's when the next.
Are you coming back for that?
Yeah, hopefully.
We'll get them on the ladder.
Yeah.
Put all the fun stuff
man.
in.
Take some
Pouring it
pictures
in.
of him on a ladder.
Take a
Maybe we
swig,
shouldn't
pour
do
it
that.
in.
I don't know. I don't know if his day job will appreciate it.
Yeah, fuck those
OSHA
guys.
rules.
Fuck those guys. OSHA rules.
I know
There you
Steve
go.
loves his OSHA rules.
I
It
love
shit
those
does.
guys.
You're gonna take a picture like what happens when the antique vase climbs up
that's
the ladder.
That's what the fuck.
I
Antique
didn't
vase?
start it.
What the fuck?
All right, what do you want to be like?
We started the Antiques Roadshow.
I would like to be a well-oiled machine.
Okay.
Oiled machine.
So an old like cotton gin.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jesus
Wow. Okay,
Christ.
now we're going down to racism.
No,
part.
it doesn't have to be that. Jesus. There are other people that use cotton gins.
Who?
Normal people.
Normal people.
I'm just.
We,
all right,
we
all
run
right.
in different circles, I think.
My mom had one of those old push
Cotton
sewing.
gins?
No, well, it kind of was like your own self wool spinner. It would spin the wool on like 2 different things, and she had like a foot press.
You
and
had
she-
sheep out back, and you were
No,
taking
no,
it.
no. They just make
She
yarn
must
and
know
such.
Charlie.
She must know Charlie.
Oh,
Yes,
God, yeah.
She's friends with Charlie.
Yeah, it might
They
be
used
he might be my great great grandfather. I don't
Oh
know. Yeah.
man, wouldn't that be sad?
Yeah, we should do a 23andMe on Charlie. That should be our next show.
See what your lineage
See
is.
what your lineage is.
Oh my God.
Ulysses S. Grant. What the hell?
What?
It's his brother.
Yeah.
So, Chris, you went through those steps. Appreciate all the information as you went through.
For sure.
Now, when you're doing your normal process on some of your standard beers, is it relatively the same? Can people expect to see the same thing if they came in for Layer of a Lager or the Dubco IPA or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, we have kind of a lot going on in this beer, but it's a lot of post-fermentation stuff.
Yeah.
The only adjunct we threw in was that bag of corn and a little bit of lactose, but it's a pretty straight-up brewing process for this type of beer.
Right.
It's the same process as you would do home brewing.
Solid
just
base.
on a larger scale. Yeah, nice, easy, solid base.
How long does it take? And I was watching you with your valves and everything. How long does it take to
your
know what
valves.
every single valve does and where it goes, and know the process of like your cadence of going from one to the next and the next to the next? Like I was expecting, if it was me, I'd probably end up backfilling the boil with like just runoff water.
Luckily, there's a backflow preventer for that because that would have been done by now if there wasn't. It's been 5 years on this system, and I don't know how many hundreds and hundreds of batches. It's just one of those things that becomes, that repetitive motion, second nature. You know what does what goes where, and of course you have a brain fart every once in a while. But I mean, I was talking about one before. We have a semi-automated system, so it's there's some manual stuff and a lot of computer-actuated valves and, that move liquid around, and sometimes you hit the wrong button, but, at this point, it's second nature. It's been...
So it sits in the boil for about an hour, then you let it cool
This
down.
is going to be an hour boil, and so we're adding a Whirlpool hop addition, and we like to call it the cool pool. We cool the Whirlpool down, throw the hops in at a lower temperature, so we're pulling all that flavor, but none of the bitterness. So the way we do that is we actually pump it through our heat exchange and back into the kettle and cool the whole thing slowly to the temperature we want.
Okay.
Then we'll chuck the hops in, let them sit for 15-20 minutes, and then get ready to transfer over to our fermentation vessel.
So in transfer, it's sitting in the bright for how long?
We'll be in the fermenter.
Fermenter.
Yeah,
Okay,
fermenter.
sorry. Next stage, my bad.
I'm gonna say 2 weeks.
Okay.
We're throwing some extra stuff in there, so maybe an extra couple days. So, 14 to 20 days, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah. We're throwing fruit in, so we want to make sure there's no re-fermentation. This is a post-fermentation fruit addition, so we're trying to get all that flavor and sweetness and not ferment it out and get higher alcohol.
I was gonna say you're
So
already
I know-
aiming for 8. You're gonna go 12.
So I know your next question is when's it
Yeah.
going to be ready?
Well, yeah, that, and of
Probably
course.
first week of February.
Yeah,
that's
so
a
from
good time
day of
frame.
brewing till end, it's about 15, 16 days, we'll say.
Yeah, that's our standard on all of our ales is, we like to give a full 10 days to 14 days of fermentation, and
Right.
a couple days to clean up, and get ready
And
for package.
We said earlier you're going to be doing a little bit of canning with this. So in regards to getting the art approved and then sent out to printer and stuff like that, do you use a local printer? Is it a quick turnaround once you get those out there?
We're using a great printer right now. We've been working with them for a few years. They're actually out of Massachusetts.
Okay.
And they have, I'd say, the best quality label for the best price with the quickest turnaround.
Ah.
I know that jams a lot of people up. That jammed us up. I can't tell you how many times where we had a beer sitting in a tank or in a can with no label, waiting for who knows how long for when they show up. And label company Reason Now is in touch, and they have a week turnaround, so it's not
so
bad.
you can just know your timing on
Yeah.
next week you'll have to get it in, approved, and all set to go.
Yeah, that's a nice thing too. New York State has added a lot more employees in whatever division that is for label approval.
Yeah, I was going to say, so then
So we're
a UPC
getting
label and all that stuff.
we're getting those back within a week.
Yeah.
So that's, it's a lot better than waiting a month where it used to be, or even longer.
You have to pretty much do the art before you ever brewed the beer, and I'm sure some people were holding on to labels that are beer that never got brewed for whatever reason.
Yeah, we had a recent scenario with that Wild East collab we were talking about, where we made the label in conjunction with them. It looked the way we wanted. We sent it off for approval, and it got kicked back. And the SLA agent was saying, "Well, this is a collaboration between Dubco and Wild East. We're going to need a letter from Wild East saying that you're allowed to use their name and their logo." And it's like, well,
It's a trademark thing, I guess, but
it is, and that's
that's
something
not the
that's
SLA's
never,
problem, though.
That's something that never happened until just recently.
Huh.
We've never gotten asked to get permission from the other brewery. I guess maybe it was a new agent, and they were just covering
unsure,
their ass.
yeah.
And yeah, so that was funny.
I'm guessing they're thinking, because most breweries are like, why wouldn't I want the,
my name on a label.
with, and maybe hit some new, customers. But I could see if it's like a little guy and he's like, yeah, I did this collab with other half, and,
Yeah.
with Russian River, and,
Shelter Island and other half.
I'm sure it had to do with the tax liability more than anything.
probably.
Who is this
Qualifying
being brewed by,
who goes in,
and who's paying the taxes on it. But
Yeah, and that's the thing.
silly
Like, so
things.
you guys, when you do a collab with another established brewery, business-wise, it's profit sharing pretty much, or you guys kind of decide that we're going to do two different beers and we'll do this one and you do
we
that
like
one?
to do,
Because then it comes down to taxes, like I said. So who's taking the responsibility for those?
the brewer that brewed it.
Right.
And
The on-premise brewer.
The way you really have to do it is, we brewed that whatever Wild East collab here. It's our tax liability, and then if they want that, you can't just give them a keg and say, "Oh yeah, here's a keg and trade me one." Like, technically, you have to sell them said keg.
Right.
You can't give alcohol away.
It's interesting. I never really thought about the business end of collaborations as much.
Yeah,
People
and-
think like, oh, it's so fun and beer and friendship and networking.
Well, yeah, even like
But-
with this Bright Eye thing, it's like that's a situation where we brewed it here,
Mm-hmm.
we brewed one beer here one day, one beer there the next, and it'd be nice and easy to say like, here's a half of mine and give me a half of yours.
Right.
There's
Can't really.
there's a gray area in
Yeah.
there. There has to be a paper trail. You
Right.
know, not that I think the SLA would come knocking on the door, but
Where's
you
that
have-
half keg?
You have to have that paper trail.
Where's
And
that
then
5 liter?
there's way shadier shit that goes
Oh
on.
yeah, for sure.
And you just want to have your defense in case someone comes at you like that.
Makes sense. Now, do you guys have any other collaborations on the schedule? I don't think I asked you that before.
Yeah, so the next one is Noble Savage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We
at the
talked
end of
about
the
that a
month.
little bit. Yep.
And in February, I was talking with Dan at Long Beach. In the past, we had done a collaboration Doppelbock.
Oh yeah.
And I saw that Plattdeutsch is doing a Bach Fest like sometime in late April. So they're looking for local craft breweries if they have a Bach style beer. So
Yep.
I said to Dan, "Hey man, let's do it." So that's getting brewed at Long Beach.
Oh, cool.
We're thinking mid February to be ready by April.
And speaking of traditional styles, Long Beach loves their traditional styles. They got
and you know what? Dan's another one of those guys that like is holding on to it for dear life. And God bless him, because he makes killer traditional beer, and he makes killer beer in general. And he's another guy, like Frank. It's like so dedicated, so into it, such a meticulous brewer. Dan's one of those guys that's like, one of those top guys.
We haven't talked to him in a while. We got to get him back on the show. I feel like we're
Dan's
disconnected from
we haven't
Dan for a little bit.
We haven't
since
spoke-
we told him that we'd sit outside of City Hall on a bullhorn and tell them that they need to approve Long Beach's.
Thank God they approved it.
Yeah, thank God. It was us, Dan. It was all us.
It was all us.
I was out there with the bullhorn.
They were afraid.
In my underwear.
Yeah. Dan's doing good. He actually just had back surgery, so I know he's been down for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
I'll reach out to him.
It sucks getting
again.
old,
He's
man.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. I mean, if they were closer, I would love to be there a lot more. I'd love to just hang out.
Yeah,
Dan's a great dude.
Great spot, great tasting room.
So let's talk about the future. You and Acres, have a lot going on. You talked a little bit about how the next kind of couple of phases are going to look out, possibly moving production here to there, and short term. Let's say coming up in the fall and the summer. Of course, you're going to do business as usual, a couple of festivals here and there.
Right.
What is the bigger goal? Outside of that, like if you go further than that and zoom out a little bit, what's the overall arcing goal here?
I mean,
besides making money.
Yeah. Wait.
It's
you
a survival
can do
on
that
Long
in this
Island. Yeah,
business?
get out of here. That's crazy.
No. Turning that big old barn into a production facility.
Yeah.
And doing it the way I want it from the get-go. Like we started in this room here, then expanded next door. And we made it work in the space we had. So it would be nice going forward with that new project to maybe have pitched floors where the water doesn't run behind the tanks and it runs to the drain.
We found that out.
There's a lot of squeegees in this.
I was going to say
gonna
less squeegees.
Yeah.
You become a squeegee pro.
It's something
Army.
I'm definitely jealous of. They were Bright Eye and all their floors are pitched and the guy's like, yeah, watch this. And he turns on, opens a hot liquor tank or something and 100 gallons shoots out and just goes right to the drain. Those are goals right now for the future.
Small goals, but
Small goals.
man,
Small goals.
those are the ones that really are right here in the
Save
heart.
you save you some shoulder work.
Yeah, a major part of that project too is going to be sustainability. I know that's a big word in the industry right now, but I mean it just makes sense. Where we are up there, there's no municipal water, it's well water. There's no sewers, it's all septic. There's no natural gas. So we're looking. This is part of what this year I'm working on. Going to a bunch of conferences and looking into green technologies. We have a 5,000 square foot barn. Let's throw solar panels on it. Let's do geothermal heating. Let's do reclamation tanks for wastewater. So it does go hand in hand. Trust me. I'd love to be more sustainable for the environment. And also, for the pocket.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of government,
it's a
programs that will help out.
Right.
I know, like when I converted to solar, I got a lot of money back, which was excellent.
Yeah, we're in prime farm country, so you want to have as least impact on the land as possible.
Yep.
We have a protected property. It's a PDR, so the only thing that can ever be is a farm. And we want to make it into a true working farm. We planted 10 acres of barley last year. And we're hoping this year to do another 10 or maybe a little bit more and get a decent amount of usable grain out of that.
That's cool.
Pull back on relying on, out-of-state vendors or, that just, it all goes hand in hand,
Synergy. Yes, of all the people that are around.
And this is a situation up there where we can do all this because, this is, like I said, our lifelong home from here to eternity.
I want to give you an opportunity to give everyone the big plug. Give us information about down here in Bayshore, up there in Warwick, contact information.
And before he gets into it, though, sitting right in front of me was the 2023 beer club membership.
Yes.
And bro, I don't know how people pass that up.
Yeah,
just for the free beer, basically.
So I mean. It's an easy sell to a lot of people. Some people see the price. It was $225 this year for our Dub Club, and we give a 4-pack a month to
right
the club
away
members
worth the cost.
right off the bat.
Yep.
That pays for the cost.
Yep.
$1 off in the tap room. Unfortunately, the window's closed on that for 23. January 1st that starts. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of regulars, and that's more to give back to the regulars and incentivize people to come, you know, and
spend their days here.
and
right?
spend their
Anywhere
days
else,
here. So yeah, we have about 100 of them down here, which is great. And these people are people who've been here. We have our founders poster that helped us open. We did our Kickstarter back in 2015, and they're still here, like 90% of them.
It's not only good here, but also up at
And it
Dubco
works at
Acres.
Acres,
which is really cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
So
we,
if you-
we get a lot of customers from Bayshore that take the drive and come up, and we've slowly been getting people from Warwick coming and checking out
cool.
down
That's-
here.
that's cool.
It's like, oh, I want to see what the beer's brewed, you know?
Yeah.
That's
So,
cool.
Yeah, that's fun trying to connect those two. And we're doing, I think later in the month or in February, like we're having the club members vote on a beer they'd like to, you know, they'd
Oh
like
yeah,
to
that
see
was one of the
brewed.
things there. That's
So we're gonna put out like 3 options, have them vote on it, and then host them for a brew day here, like so they could see how it's done. They feel involved in the project, and they can see that translated to when they're drinking it on tap. You know, it's just,
Cool.
we like to do fun engagement stuff, and that's like another big thing we're doing this year is just like engagement with our customers. Coming out of the dark times, like let's do fun stuff with our let's
get together
with
again.
our core group. Let's get together.
put everyone-
Let's actually just
let's do
hang
some
out.
fun
Yeah.
stuff. We're definitely looking forward to that ski trip. That the last time we did that, it was like the most fun we've had in a while. Just so happens to fall like right around my birthday too. So that's-
Oh,
yeah.
Somebody was thinking of something.
Yeah, they just happened to have the
good
date on
plans.
the mountain that
Sure.
day.
so the contact on Instagram,
Is,
Facebook, Twitter.
yeah, at Dubco at Dubco Acres is for upstate.
Yep.
All the social media platforms, destinationunknownbeercompany.com. That has our hours. Our taproom hours, upstate and downstate, are slightly different. So always check in on that. Where you want to come and hang out. And yeah,
And you guys
we
are open
post-
today. You guys open the doors. It's a holiday.
it's a holiday,
Might as well
and,
see how many people come in through. And
Yeah, the
I'm
guys
sure
are
you'll
like,
get
"Hey,
some-
we working on Monday?" And I'm like, "Are we?" And they're like, "Well, we got nothing else to do." And I'm like, "Well, it's gonna be a fun day. We'll open the bar. Steve and the gang will come hang out, do a podcast, and we'll brew some beer."
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, the team here, Paul's doing some fun stuff in the tap room, and Jen's doing some fun stuff upstate. So keep apprised on social media, and you can follow all the cool stuff we're doing this year.
And that's a big deal. Like the social media and the marketing through there is how you really stay in contact with your audience.
It is.
You're-
I
you're-
know. I'm addicted.
Yeah.
I'm a scroller. I like to creep on people and see what they're doing. But that really is the way, to interact with everybody these days.
Like the Mandalorian. It is the way.
It is the way.
It is the way.
The one thing I don't do is TikTok. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
It's not my
mean,
thing. I'm not a dancer
You
either.
sure you guys don't want to dance around in the brew house? And
Paul's like 30. He gets it. So he'll be like, stand there and say something funny. And then, I don't know, it's on TikTok. So.
Yeah, that's it. It's a great marketing plan, but anything that can get you recognized, see the branding, see the faces, it makes a big difference. And, shout out to your crew. Everyone was very hospitable today. Really appreciate Jim and Bill and everybody in the brew house.
Yeah, we got a good crew, man.
Yeah.
It's a great working environment. These guys are. Jim's been here. He's going to be in April. Will be his 6th year at Dubco.
wow, shit, that long?
So
Smokes.
yeah, he started out as a fan and a customer, and then he mentioned he'd like to start bartending, so he started bartending. And he's like, "Oh, I saw who does your labels? They kind of suck." And I'm like, "Oh, this person." And he's like, "I'm a graphic designer by trade." And I'm like, "So you've been here for like a year, and you just mentioned this now?" So then he started doing our artwork, and then eventually he kind of got tired of being like a cubicle monkey, and he's like, "I'd love to work in the back and work on the process, and really be involved. I love the beer, I love the company." And so he started out literally as a customer, then a bartender, then doing our labels.
A true
and then,
man's
we brought him
made
on,
journey,
as a cellarman, and now he's our assistant brewer.
Look at that.
And he's killing it.
Doing a great job back there. And they know their spots. They're all busy as little worker bees back there as we were doing our thing. They were
devil's in the
moving and
details, man.
shaking.
There's a lot of random shit that goes on all day, every day.
Keg cleaning, cleaning, clinging,
and clanging.
and clanging.
There's
They were
keg
clanging.
cleaning while you're clean.
Yes, they were clanging, cleaning.
And Chris, really appreciate you having us in today and showing us through
I was
the
really
ropes
looking
and-
forward to this when you said, "Hey, we want to do like a live broadcast." I was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah.
I
it's
love
cool.
coming down to the studio, but this is it's
We
nice
know.
to get people out. Like, I'm sure you love to get out. And,
We do. I do like the studio, but we need to shake it up for our audience as well. So for people seeing new places, new things, we tried a little new format today where people got to watch pretty much an entire brew day from start to finish.
I'm happy to host, man.
Yeah, that was awesome. And of course, the beer is delicious.
The beer.
Yeah, and then there's that.
You tell me when that Eleanor's coming out, because I'll be back here in a heartbeat. So thanks very much, Chris. Dubco.
Thank you guys.
Check them out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that other good stuff. This is where Mike, Pete, and Steve, GovsRadio.com, live here at Dubco in Bayshore, hanging out for the collab between Barrage and Dubco. Had a great time.
Oh, yeah.
Steve, some few parting words before we get out of here.
I really would like to have a beer.
we can fix that.
You can have what beer?
I know,
You're
but
being very good, though.
I'm trying.
Yes. Well, anything else?
With the demons around
See
me.
that? That's
Yes, there's
Yeah,
the
see?
demons.
Yeah.
We're on both shoulders. There's no
Right,
angel
yeah.
or devil.
Come
We're both
to
like,
me.
come on, have a beer.
come to the dark side.
Really appreciate it, guys. Great first show of 2023. We got a lot going on this year, so check us out. Stay there. And don't forget to have your pets spayed or neutered. This is the word with Mike, Pete, and Steve. GovsRadio.com. We out.
Well, that's 2 hours of your life that you'll never get back.
Are you kidding me?
Please hang up and try again.
This has been the Wort on Govs Radio. I hope you're drunk enough.